This demon beast corpse has been sitting in the crematorium for 10 years. No one ever paid it any mind. But the second you laid eyes on it, you decided to stew it and eat it. Everyone around laughed at you. Must have gotten food poisoning from cheap takeout to lose your mind like that. Because in this world, all demon beast corpses are contaminated. Anyone who tries to cook demon beast corpses for food end up dead without a single exception. But you just grinned playfully at that. Because you accidentally unlocked a max-level corpse processing skill. Not only can you use your special cooking method to remove the contamination from demon beast corpses, you can also, by eating the cooked demon meat, gain the skills the demon beast had when it was alive. Right now, you're following the steps on the recipe, adding all the ingredients needed to cook an iron-tail hawk into the pot one by one. After bringing it to a boil over high heat, the whole yard instantly fills with a super tempting aroma. You can't hold back anymore at this point, staring at the iron-tail hawk stewed to look just like a small chicken in the pot. Your mouth starts watering uncontrollably. You quickly pick up a piece of dried mushroom with your chopsticks, put it in your mouth and chew slowly. But what shocks you is just eating a tiny bit of the dried mushroom that soaked up the iron-tail hawk broth actually makes you feel a mysterious massive surge of power stirring inside your body. It's exactly the same feeling as when you drank demon beast essence blood, down to the last detail. After confirming it actually works, you ditch all decorum and start wolfing down the food. After you finish gnawing on the whole iron-tail hawk, every single cell in your body feels like it's been injected with stimulants, firing up. The energy in your limbs and bones is surging wildly inside you. At the same time, a line of golden text appears in front of your eyes again. One iron-tail hawk consumed. Gained iron-tail hawk innate skill. Sharp claws. Holy shit. You can't help cursing out loud when you see this. Your face is full of disbelief. Because in this world overrun by demon beasts, only by consuming a demon core can you have a small chance of obtaining the skills the demon beast had in life. That's why demon cores are ridiculously expensive. Even the core of a common demon beast like the iron-tail hawk costs at least 100k on the market. You try channeling your energy to your fingers. Looking at the cobblestone you use to prop up the table under your feet, you slash down hard. There's a loud crunching sound. That solid cobblestone actually has 5 deep finger marks in it. And your fingers don't hurt one bit. Seeing this, you're stunned. No wonder people who can afford demon cores can level up their cultivation so fast. These innate demon beast skills are totally cheating. Right at that moment, you suddenly remember. You still have another demon beast corpse at home that hasn't been cremated. It's a demon beast way stronger than the iron-tail hawk at the 8th cultivation tier. The second you get close to the howling moonhound, the book in your mind opens again, revealing a page. 8th tier howling moonhound, secret old broth recipe. Add a little chili to make the base. Slice the meat, dip in sauce, and eat. Slightly increases strength. Slightly improves kidney function. Note, even dogs won't eat this. You strategically ignore the note, thinking this book is kinda sassy. It's an 8th tier beast for crying out loud. And it still thinks it's not good enough. Even though you just ate an entire 3rd tier iron-tail hawk. Looking at this 8th tier howling moonhound at your feet right now, your mouth still drools embarrassingly against your will. You pat your stomach. You're hungry again, so you set up a pot and start boiling water again. Throw in all the ingredients needed to cook the howling moonhound. After you're full, you're just about to head back inside to sleep. When you suddenly hear a noise at the front door, your expression changes immediately when you notice this. You quickly rummage through a pile of junk and pull out a steel knife you keep for self-defense. Because just now, you clearly smelled the scent of a demon beast. This is a new ability you got after eating the howling moonhound. You can detect your surroundings through your sense of smell. Before this, you would have reported it to the city guard right away. Let the professionals handle it. But now, you're a little hesitant with your new 7th tier strength. Because you know, if a demon beast shows up in the safe zone, that means a wild spatial rift must have opened nearby. Even though wild spatial rifts are super dangerous, they might also contain tons of desirable treasures and opportunities. Your youthful excitement is firing up your inner adventurer. Finally, you grit your teeth. You yank the door open holding the steel knife. The second the door opens, a giant rat appears right in front of you. It's like a ferocious wild boar, baring its sharp fangs, staring at you with bloodshot eyes. You can even see saliva dripping from the corner of its mouth. It's obviously starving like crazy. You take a deep breath, looking at this rat with roughly 5th heaven cultivation, and curl your finger in a come here gesture. A provocative smile tugs at the corner of your mouth. Come on, get over here. The rat seems completely enraged by your provocation, or maybe it's just really that hungry. It slams its paws against the ground hard and leaps straight at you with its bloody mouth wide open. You see this but calmly lift your right hand and activate the skill you got from the iron-tailed hawk. You swing your sharp claws hard at the pouncing rat. The claws pierce the rat's rough fur accurately. The immense force drives the claws even deeper. Blood splatters out instantly, splashing all over your face and body. Looking at the 5 claw holes on the rat's spine, you laugh dramatically and yell, "You lousy rat! Dare to pick a fight with your grandpa fat monkey." This is what you get. Right at this moment, the book in your mind flips its pages again. Burrowing rat meat is terrible quality. It tastes like chewing wax. You can force it down if you really have to. Figure out how to cook it yourself. You stare at this short, perfunctory message, looking thoughtful. Looks like not all demon beasts are considered edible by the Demon Eater Manual. Take this burrowing rat, for example. It's obviously looked down on by the Demon Eater Manual. Now that you know this burrowing rat isn't worth eating, you can only burn its corpse, then keep walking further ahead, looking for the location of the space rift. On the way, you run into a few more burrowing rats, but none of them are above 6th heaven cultivation. This makes you super excited, because the demon beasts that come out of the rift indicate how dangerous the rift is. All the ones that escaped are 5th or 6th heaven level. That means the maximum danger level of this rift won't go above 9th heaven. That's exactly within what you can handle. You know, demon beasts inside the rift have a strength cap, but the treasures inside don't have any limits. Some people even got high-tier treasures from low-level rifts. That's way more awesome than winning the lottery. You speed along all the way with excitement. Finally, less than 500 meters away from your home, you spot a space rift glowing with black light. You don't hesitate for a second and charge straight inside. But once you get inside the rift, you don't smell any demon beasts at all. Instead, not far in front of you, you see a temple bathed in Buddha's light. Just as you're wondering what's going on, from inside the temple comes a young monk wearing an ornate monk's robe. The young monk greets you with a smile. "I'm Liu Qin, a humble monk. Greetings, benefactor," the abbot invites you in for a talk. You're totally dumbfounded seeing this. Originally, you thought entering the rift meant fighting monsters to level up. But what the hell is happening right now? Luckily, you don't sense any danger from Liu Qin at all. So even though you still have a lot of doubts, you have no other choice right now and can only follow him inside. But the second you step through the door, you smell a strong stench of blood. Then Liu Qin makes a pleased gesture. The corner of his mouth lifts, revealing his white teeth. You're so scared you almost piss your pants, because you actually see bits of meat stuck between his teeth, and the blood smell is super strong. Soon you're led to a meditation room. Liu Qin says with a smile, "Benefactor, you can stay here for now. The abbot will meet you personally when he's free." Then, he suddenly remembers something and says, "Oh, right. You're a layperson from the secular world. You probably like eating meat, right? Last night a wild pheasant ran into the temple. Fell to its death. I'll make you soup with it." You take a deep breath. You think this 1,000 Buddha temple feels off and creepy everywhere. A monk actually has meat bits on his teeth. What does that mean? Breaking the precepts is only one thing. The other is, where did that meat come from? From what Liu Qin said, 1,000 Buddha Mountain is already surrounded by demon beasts. You slowly come up with a wild guess. Not long after, Liu Qin walks in carrying a bowl of fragrant meat. "Benefactor, eat it while it's hot." But facing Liu Qin's enthusiasm, you're cursing like crazy in your head. "This bastard monk is trying to set me up. This isn't wild pheasant meat at all. This is obviously iron-tailed hawk meat. You know that way too well. Fucking hell, if you eat this bowl of meat nicely, you'll turn corrupted in less than 3 days. Suddenly it clicks for you. Wait, is that shredded meat all from demon beasts? Damn, these monks are eating demon beast meat. Are these monks out of their minds? How long have they been eating this? Once they turn corrupted, each of them becomes a violent, dangerous threat." Liu Qin stares at you as you freeze completely and speaks slowly. "Why don't you eat, benefactor? Is it not to your taste?" You fight down the shock and rage bubbling up inside you, and answer while pretending to be calm. "It's not that it doesn't taste good. It's just that your cooking method is off." Liu Qin's face goes stiff when he hears this. He'd thought of all kinds of excuses you might make, but never this one. "What do you mean, benefactor? You just don't want to eat it, right?" In an instant, you feel the temperature around you drop a few degrees. A dangerous aura hits you all at once. Damn, this little monk is at least 9th heaven level. What about the other monks in this temple? And that unknown abbot on top of that? Right now you realize you were way too reckless to come in here. But now that you're already inside, there's no turning back. You laugh out loud and say you're all monks. What do you know about cooking meat anyway? Where's the kitchen? I'll show you how it's done properly. With that, you take the bowl of meat broth and walk outside. Liuchen is completely stunned. Turns out you don't refuse to eat it. You just think it tastes bad, since you're willing to eat it. Everything is fine. Thinking of that, the dangerous aura around Liuchen gradually fades away. He follows behind you and says with a soft smile, "Well then, this little monk will have to see your cooking skills for myself." You let out a long sigh. Holy crap, that was close. Good thing he didn't attack right away. You reach the kitchen in no time. You see the big pot full of iron-tailed hawk meat and curse this bald idiot 1,000 times in your head. But you know full well, this is not the time to pick a fight. So you deliberately clear your throat and say to Liuchen seriously, "Master Liuchen, this involves a secret recipe. Could you please wait outside?" Liuchen is stunned for a second. Then he smiles and says, "Sure." He walks outside the kitchen to wait for you. You snort coldly, take out the herbs needed to cook iron-tailed hawk, and recook every piece of meat one by one. Fucking hell, bet you didn't see this coming. I've got my own tricks, dumbass. A little while later, a mouth-watering aroma fills the entire kitchen. The delicious smell even drifts all the way outside. Even Liuchen can't help swallowing his saliva. Just then, the kitchen door opens. You carry a big bowl out and ask tentatively Master Liuchen, "Want some too?" Liuchen waves his hands hurriedly. No. Monks are not allowed to eat meat. Please enjoy it yourself, benefactor. You don't stand on ceremony at all. Right in front of Liuchen, you start chowing down immediately. In just half an hour, the entire iron-tailed hawk in the pot is all gone into your stomach. After seeing you finish eating, Liuchen walks you back to your room with a smile. Early the next morning, you open your room door. Liuchen is standing there holding an iron-tailed hawk. He says with a big smile, benefactor, "What a coincidence. Another wild bird just fell to its death in the temple. Looks like you're in for a treat." Your pupils shrink when you see this. This bald asshole is so damn shady. Iron-tailed hawks aren't stupid birds. How the hell would it fall to its death in the temple? This is a demon beast, for God's sake. Does he think I'm a total idiot? You take a deep breath and force a seemingly sincere smile onto your face. You say to Liuchen outside, "Wow, that's really lucky." So as usual, "Let me go cook it myself, yeah." After you quickly finish eating the cooked iron-tailed hawk, you get ready to say goodbye and leave this place, because you always feel this temple is way too weird. If you stay any longer, you won't even know how you get killed. But right when you're about to say you want to leave, Liuchen comes again. His tone leaves no room for argument. "Benefactor, the abbot is free. He wants to talk to you. You know very well in your heart, if you don't go this time, he'll definitely turn hostile on the spot." Leaving aside the abbot who's never shown his face, no one knows how strong he is anyway. Just inside this temple, there are dozens of monks at the 7th or 8th cultivation level. With your current strength, you probably can't even get out of here in one piece. Also, you've noticed one thing. This place seems to have its own set of rules. As long as you don't cross the monk's bottom line, you won't be in danger. Like eating demonic beast meat is one of the bottom lines. Every time you make an excuse to refuse eating it, Liuchen's aura changes right away. He gets angry and impulsive, like he wants to kill you. You groan inwardly. But there's no other way right now. You can only bite the bullet and agree. "Sure, please lead the way, Master Liuchen. I've admired Buddhist teachings for a long time, too." Not long after, you arrive at a simple ancient meditation room. An old monk with snow-white hair and beard was tapping the wooden fish in his hand, looked at you with a smile and said, "Benefactor, are you the young man who came last night?" You have no idea what the old monk is up to, so you can only force a smile and nod, and answer yes. The old monk smiled and told you to sit down. But the second the old monk opened his mouth, your pupils shrank suddenly. Shit, there's meat shreds in there too. Is Qianfo Mountain fucking crazy? They really eat demonic beast meat. The old monk didn't notice your odd reaction. He kept asking with a kind look on his face, "What do you think of my Qianfo Mountain, benefactor?" You pretend to be thinking, trying your best to look natural. It's great, the food is pretty good. The environment is beautiful too. Compared to the outside where demonic beasts run rampant, this is definitely a paradise on earth. On the old monk's indifferent face, there was a faint trace of surprise. Paradise on earth. That's a pretty novel way to put it. Since you think this place is nice, why don't you stay here at Qianfo Mountain, benefactor? Although Qianfo Mountain has declined, it has a long-standing heritage, and we have quite a few unique skills. If you want to stay, you can pick one unique skill. When you heard the words unique skills, you were so excited your eyes almost popped out. Nice, the good stuff is coming. Because you learned in textbooks. This is one of the Rift rewards. Only an idiot would pass up a free good deal. You decided to agree after thinking for a bit. but you put on a slightly troubled look on your face and said, "Staying here is fine by me, but we've only just met. I don't know much about Qianfo Mountain. If the abbot can let me go to the Sutra Library to learn about the history of Qianfo Mountain, that would be even better." The old monk was completely stunned. All these years, you're the first person to make this kind of request. Most people either refuse to comply, and I beat them to death myself, or their eyes light up the second they hear about unique skills. You're the first one who wants to check us out first. For a moment, his brain couldn't process this. Meanwhile, you kept observing the old monk's expression secretly, and realized you didn't cross the bottom line, so you spoke even more freely. Of course, two-way selection is popular these days, right? What do you think, Abbot? The old monk thought for a long time, and thought what you said made sense. He nodded, and said, "Sure, but I can only give you 2 days, benefactor." "Okay." You let out a long sigh of relief. "Thank you, Abbot. By the way, can I take a look at the unique skills first? After all, I need to know the strength of Qianfo Mountain first." The old monk was stunned again, because according to the usual process, we only show it to people who agree to stay first. Those who disagree naturally break the rules, and I can kill them. You saw the old monk didn't speak, and quickly persuaded Abbot, "If you don't show me the unique skills, how can I know the strength of Qianfo Mountain? If I don't know the strength of Qianfo Mountain, how can I make up my mind to stay here?" The old monk suddenly felt his brain wasn't working enough. He nodded subconsciously. "Let Liaochen take you there." The old monk thought, his way of thinking got quite a shock today. Although everything you said made total sense, and didn't cross any bottom lines, he always felt something was off. He needed time to think. What exactly had just happened? You snickered inwardly. This old monk is so dumb. You just tested out 2 bottom lines. The first bottom line is eating demonic beast meat. If you refused to eat it, you probably wouldn't have survived to meet the old monk. Liaochen would have killed you already. The second one is just joining Qianfo Mountain. At that moment, you figured out a lot of things. Joining Qianfo Mountain. Maybe I'll become a monk in this temple and get all the benefits here. But there's a catch here. Once you join, getting out will definitely cost you a huge price. So you found a loophole. Joining is okay, but I need to test your strength first. That makes sense, right? You follow Liaochen and arrive at a small 3-story building. Benefactor, this is where we store our exclusive martial skills. I need to tell you a couple of rules first. First, you can only choose 1 exclusive skill. You must not be greedy and take more. Second, you have to come out within 4 hours. You nod your head, push open the simple ancient gate and walk inside. The first thing you see is rolls of books placed on the bookshelves. You never expected Qianfo Mountain to have so many cultivation techniques, but just when you randomly open a technique book and get ready to read it, your super sensitive nose suddenly picks up a strange sweet scent. This scent seems almost addictive. You can't get enough of it. You can't help but put down the book. Your body moves mechanically like a walking corpse, looking for the source of the scent. You are horrified in your heart. What the hell is going on here? You try like crazy to take back control of your body, but you can only watch yourself. Move completely against your will, until you walk up to a bookshelf. You actually watch your own body. Press down on a candlestick. What the fuck, are you insane? Then right after you hear a faint sound. A set of stone steps appears in front of you, deep and pitch dark. Obviously there's a secret room down there. You grab the candle beside you, and slowly walk down the steps, even though your mind is totally against it. Screaming no like crazy, but it's no use at all. You can't control your body at all. You walk for who knows how long. Suddenly there's a creaking sound. The path you came from disappears, and you finally get control of your body back. You look around in terror. Can't help but yell, "Who's there? Who's messing with me?" Then an extremely gloomy and bitter voice rings out. It's a woman's voice, and it's extremely seductive. "Brother Monkey, come save me." You get a huge fright, and quickly hold up the candle, trying to find where the voice is coming from. But when you can clearly see what's in front of you, your pupils shrink suddenly. Your heart skips a beat. There's no woman in sight. There's actually a crystal coffin right in front of you. You force yourself to pull it together, muster up the courage to lean over and look inside, and find a woman lying inside the crystal coffin. An extremely beautiful woman at that. She's wearing a bright red wedding robe. The outer robe is tied in a knot, draped across her waist, and her chest size is obviously very full even when she's lying down. Her lips are as red as dripping blood. Her cheeks are pink like the sunset glow. Right at this moment, the voice rings out again, sounding plaintive and weeping. "Brother Monkey, wipe off that Buddha seal. Get me out of here. I want to marry you." After hearing the woman's voice, your body goes out of control again. You actually reach out to wipe the scriptures on the crystal coffin. That's a Buddha seal, stop it! You try your hardest to control your body, screaming no. You don't want to obey her. This is definitely an extremely ominous thing. Don't ask how you know, you can tell just by looking at it. It's way too powerful, you definitely can't afford to mess with it, even if you think about it from every angle. This is Kyanfo Mountain, a sacred Buddhist site. This corpse was obviously sealed here on purpose. If you let her out, you are definitely going to die a terrible death, but your body is still out of control. Your finger keeps rubbing over the surface of the crystal coffin again and again. Scrape, scrape. The continuous rubbing sounds make your heart beat faster along with each sound. You are so regretful right now you could die. You promise you'll never be this reckless again. Spatial rift. This isn't a place normal people should ever come to. But it's already too late for all that. Suddenly your vision goes black, and you lose consciousness completely. When you wake up again, you find yourself already in a room. Liuchen looks at you worriedly and says, "Benefactor, you're awake," you hear Luchen's voice, and you suddenly feel a sense of surviving a disaster. You ask tentatively, "What's wrong with me?" Chen said with a smile. "Probably because you're lacking nutrition. After you stayed in the scripture library for 4 hours. I called you so many times, but you never came out. So I went inside and found you passed out. But don't you worry, benefactor. Just eat more pheasant meat to nourish your body, you'll be fine. 10,000 alpacas are galloping through your mind right now. Fucking pheasant, my ass. A normal person would have been killed by his crap long ago. Probably because you fainted. The old monk didn't come looking for you again. Chen also stopped bringing up the secret art. They actually let you stay just like that. It's just that every day, Chen feeds you more and more demon beasts. The next day, it was a 7th realm iron-tailed eagle. It pushed your power claw skills straight to the full level. On the 3rd day, it was even a 9th realm iron-tailed eagle. That got you another new skill, Eagle Eye, which has auxiliary functions. That's the iron-tailed eagle's best skill for foraging. Your cultivation also started rising from the 7th realm. You reached the critical point. That made you feel a lot more relaxed, because you could feel the critical point is already the power limit of this space. That means you're already undefeatable here. So no matter what the old monk is planning, you can handle it easily. So much so that when you saw Chen again, you even greeted him with a smile. "Master Chen, you're here again. Are we having chicken again today?" But right after you said that, the old monk showed up out of nowhere. "Today, this old monk will add a dish for you, benefactor. These are some pills I refined. I see you're in poor health, so I brought them for you specially." You looked at the stuff in front of you. You were overjoyed in your heart. "These aren't any pills at all. They're fucking demon cores." "Thank you so much, Abbot." You took the demon cores calmly. You thought even though you don't need these yourself, you can totally sell them outside later. That's a huge sum of money. But the old monk's triangular eyes were staring fixedly at you. "Benefactor, these pills are refined by me. I should guide you to take them. Please take them right now." You were slightly stunned. This old monk is such a bastard. You've figured it out these past few days. This old monk is trying every trick to get you corrupted. Probably because if you don't get corrupted, he can't make a move on you. Seeing that demon beast food didn't work, now he's using demon cores instead. But when it comes to taking demon cores, you're not scared at all. Mostly because the top human experts developed the guidance technique long ago. That lets everyone take demon cores safely. You took the box holding the demon cores, picked one that looked nice to you, activated the guidance technique, and swallowed it openly. The old monk watched your every move closely. After you swallowed it, a trace of joy appeared on his face. He even sensed a hint of demonization, but right after that, that trace suddenly disappeared out of nowhere. You felt the taste of the demon core. You thought, other people get skills from taking demon cores, and you get skills from eating demon beast food. So what can I get from eating a demon core now? You were really looking forward to it. Just when you were thinking, the book in your mind flipped again. Adult 8th Realm Iron-Tailed Eagle. Demon core contains demon race bloodline. Trace amount. Consumption method. Pair with endive and camellia seeds. Can fully utilize the demon bloodline. Enhance corresponding body part strength. Evaluation. Too little bloodline. Better than nothing. You almost laughed out loud. This is way too awesome. Turns out taking demon cores works for me too. If I follow the recipe from the book, I can even strengthen my body. Iron-tailed eagles' strongest parts are obviously their eyes and claws. That means if you consume iron-tailed eagle demon cores, you can strengthen your hands and eyes. Without you noticing, your power claw will be way stronger than others. It's just that you didn't follow the recipe this time, so it's a bit of a pity. The old monk stared at your expression in shock. He even sensed that you wanted more. This completely infuriated the old monk. Something's wrong with you, benefactor. The old monk's brain was completely fried. He made a secret decision in his heart. He has to find a way to take down you, freak! Yeah, a freak. Ate so much demon beast food, and ate a demon core. No sign of demonization at all. How is that not a freak? Even amid this anger, he felt a faint hint of excitement in his heart. Could he study you, this total freak? In the future, Thousand Buddha Mountain could have this kind of method too, right? Thousand Buddha Mountain relies on a formula that slows demonification. To gain a foothold here, and survive till now, without starving to death, the old monk saw you, like he had found a rare treasure. If it weren't for the local rule restrictions, he would have attacked you already. After realizing the old monk wanted to kill you, you thought about how to leave this place that very night. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps approached. Right after that, you heard Liao Chen's familiar voice. Benefactor, the abbot requests your presence. Your heart sank when you heard that. Liao Chen coming over at this time. Definitely isn't here to invite you to dinner. You twitched your right hand slightly, feeling the power of your master-level force palm. You felt a little more at peace in your mind. This master-level skill's power is your biggest source of confidence. But the moment you opened the door, a heavy, powerful stick suddenly appeared out of nowhere. You cursed inwardly. This bald donkey actually dared to launch a sneak attack. You activated your skill without hesitation. Your sharp claws grabbed the oncoming stick firmly. The stick that originally carried huge impact force was now held steadily in your hand. You looked at the attacker with a smile on your face. Master Chen, what's the meaning of this? Chen was extremely terrified, pulling the stick back with all his strength. But the stick didn't move at all. How is that possible? I'm at the 9th heaven level, so he yelled with his face flushed bright red. Fellow brothers. In just a split second, quite a few bald heads popped out, counting them one by one. All the people that showed up were the monks who chanted scriptures during the day. They no longer had the gentle look from daytime. Their faces were full of viciousness right now. You could even feel that these people's pupils were really abnormal. It was a kind of madness, exactly the same as the corruption after eating demon beasts. When Lao Chen saw the backup arrive, he laughed out loud. Catch them alive. The abbot will give you great rewards. Everyone will get the delay medicine decoction. Your heart tightened. You let out a cold snort. Do you really think I'm an easy target? The next second you moved quickly, dodging the first attack from the monks. A white glow appeared on your 10 fingers. Your sharp claws moved back and forth at extreme speed. You're at the spirit realm level now. Dealing with a bunch of little monks is no problem at all. In just 30 seconds, all the fighting cries around suddenly stopped, and Liao Chen's expression turned from laughter to horror. No way, that's absolutely impossible. How can you be this strong? You felt the blood in your palm, dripping down from your fingernails. The corner of your mouth curled up slightly. Surprised, aren't you? You guys are the ones to thank for this, but you also know. Villains die from talking too much. While you were speaking, you moved quickly and slammed your palm right into Liao Chen's head. Blood flowed non-stop from the 5 holes, no different from how the other monks died. Then you looked outside coldly and said softly to the air, "Old bald donkey, why don't you show up and die?" A furious roar came. Evil creature, you're asking for death. But you weren't scared at all. You stood there with your hands behind your back, watching the abbot slowly appear in front of you. You snickered. Anyone can curse, you know. You probably can't even attack me, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have sent these losers to do it. Their eyes are abnormal. That's the price of attacking, isn't it? The old monk got even angrier. His triangular eyes turned slightly red, full of rage. Looking at his expression, you laughed very happily. Looks like I guessed right. You're at the spirit realm. So am I. How about we make a deal? Tell me the way to get out of here, and I'll spare your life. The old monk actually laughed. If I could get out, would I have stayed here for so many years? You actually want to get out? You're really too naive. You're right. I really can't attack you. You haven't been demonified, so I can't hurt you. But you can't get out either. Once Thousand Buddha Mountain's mountain protection array is activated, people can only enter. No one is allowed to leave. Same goes for the monsters. You look totally confused after hearing that. Where did the iron-tailed hawks I ate these days come from? The old monk snorts coldly. Of course they are raised by Qianfo Mountain. How else would you have gotten in? Even these disciples can't get out either. You want to live? You gotta eat monsters. But eating monsters means you have to resist demonization. That relies on the secret formula of Qianfo Mountain. The old monk probably figures you can't escape anyway, so he doesn't care anymore. He's spilling everything. Hearing this, everything makes sense to you now. It's pretty much exactly what you suspected. So what does that have to do with you keeping me here? That's the part you don't get. Going by this logic, there's actually no point in keeping you around. Also, why would the old monk bring miners from down the mountain here? What's the point of that? The old monk glances at the group of disciples. A creepy smile spreads across his face. This is the top secret formula of Qianfo Mountain. It's brewed with the meat of the youngest disciple in the temple. Eat 1 spoonful every day. That's how you keep your sanity intact and avoid turning into a demon. Qianfo Mountain is known as the Mountain of Thousand Buddhas. Haven't you figured out what that implies? Goosebumps break out all over your body instantly. Holy shit, you mean there used to be thousands of people at Qianfo Mountain? And only these few are left now. The old monk is pleased by how quick-witted you are. Yeah, way more than 1,000, actually. It's 3814 people. You almost throw up the food you ate last night. Even you as a total weirdo think this is way too messed up. This is no Buddhist temple at all. It's literal hell. So you might as well just stay. You can't get out anyway. Haha, look at this arrogant old monk, acting like he's got everything under control. You are furious. All your disciples are dead now. Doesn't that mean you can't make your potion anymore? I'm not scared of eating monsters anyway. Let's just wait it out. Let's see who outlasts who. Maybe I can get out once you are dead. The old monk laughs so hard he cries. There were a lot of people before, but a lot of people had to be eaten too. Now it's just me left, and these disciples right in front of me are enough to keep me going for over 10 years. How long do you think you can hold on? All your secrets will be mine once you die. Maybe if I eat you, I can get your special physique too. The old monk stares at you with pure greed. Uncovering your secrets is what he wants most right now. When you hear the old monk wants to eat you, you spit immediately. Go to hell, you old bastard. You gotta have the skills to eat me. Then you suddenly get an idea and snicker wickedly. What if I burn all these disciples' corpses? How many days can you last then? The old monk's face twists in horror. It looks like flames are bursting out of his bald head. He roars furiously with a ferocious look. How dare you! The deafening roar blasts. You flinch hard from the shock, and a metal lighter falls out of your hand onto the ground. Boom! The curtains, lamps, and candles in the temple catch fire all at once. Flames immediately shoot up high into the sky. The old monk is absolutely furious. Not just because the fire in front of him is raging high. He's practically losing his mind. These are all his supplies. The supplies he needs to survive all burned up just like that. How dare you, you little brat? You spread your hands, looking totally innocent on your face. You got me into this mess, old monk, if you hadn't yelled so loud. I never would have slipped and dropped it. The old monk can no longer control his rage anymore. He lets out a loud roar, moves like lightning, turns into a black shadow in the blink of an eye, and swipes his claws at you to kill you. You bend backward quickly, dodging the old monk's attack. Then you step to the left immediately, and use all the strength you have, and grab as hard as you can. How to describe the feeling? It's kinda soft, you are confused. Until you make eye contact with the old monk, you almost throw up. Even though you deal with demon masters every day, nothing is as disgusting as the sight in front of you. You actually rip the skin off the old monk's arm. What's underneath shocks you to the core. Multiple arms covered in sharp claws are exposed. Oh my god, old man. Are you doing some bioweapon crazy shit? The old monk turns around and grins evilly. There are blood streaks between his teeth. His eyes are filled with madness. I don't know what bioweapons are. All I know is, to defeat monsters, you gotta become a monster first. Take a look at this arm right here. It's my greatest masterpiece. This arm has killed countless iron-tailed eagles. Jeje, you're in luck today. You were so mad you almost cussed out loud. Luck my ass. Who wants luck from a monk like you? The old monk got cursed at, but he didn't look angry at all. Instead, he chanted a Buddhist mantra loudly. Buddha says, if I don't go to hell, who will? Ha ha ha, prepare to die. In that split second, the arm seemed to turn into the sharp claws of countless iron-tailed eagles. From all different power tiers, it moved so fast there was not a single gap. Its attacks flowed perfectly smooth. You couldn't think of any good counter for a moment, so you could only resist hard with your increasingly skilled eagle claws. Luckily, only one of the old monk's arms was altered. Realizing that, you had a light bulb moment right away. You slid past the old monk's body, then quickly aimed for his normal arm and struck it as hard as you could. The arm fell off right away. Blood gushed out nonstop. You were right, just as you guessed. The old monk was a half-finished experiment. Or rather, that's all the power he had. After losing his other arm, the old monk lost his balance right away. You seized the perfect opportunity. You squatted low like a hound and slammed hard into the old monk's left leg. His left leg broke too. The old monk's eyes went blank. He never could have imagined The iron-tailed eagles he'd researched for so many years just ended up failing like this, until his last remaining right leg was cut off too. You put your hands on your hips and cackled, "Yo, I'm so freaking smart. Aren't you such a tough guy, old monk? Come at me, bro." The old monk looked completely confused. He even forgot the pain in his body. How is this possible? Before he finished speaking, your sharp claws already struck. 5 bloody holes appeared on the old monk's head, and he closed his eyes forever. Only now did you completely let out a sigh of relief. You finally got rid of that old bastard. You might look calm and collected on the outside, but you were actually panicking like crazy inside. After all, you'd never been through something like this before. But after the fight was over, you suddenly realized the old monk's powers were really unbalanced, and he didn't use any spiritual power during the fight at all. If you don't use a skill, it's because you can't. So why didn't the old monk use any? You couldn't figure it out, so you stopped trying. By now, the whole temple was engulfed in roaring flames. You thought it was a little bit of a shame. This time you entered the rift, and it felt like you got nothing out of it. Nothing like the random encounters in the Cultivator storybooks, where you find all those rare heavenly treasures. You sighed. Guess I'm still too naive. You blew on your fire-singed hair a couple times, and made sure it didn't mess up your looks. Then you reluctantly turned around to look at the burning temple one last time. When you saw the newly spawned rift entrance, you dashed out of the rift in one move. Copy that, copy that. Rookie squad has arrived at the designated location. I repeat, rookie squad has arrived. You heard that and immediately thought, oh crap, and hurried to hide in the nearby bushes. The first thing you saw was a bunch of people in standard-issued gear. You recognized it immediately. It was the City Defense Team uniform. You mumbled to yourself, City 13. Really is the hope of humanity, huh? They found the rift this fast. If you didn't live nearby, you wouldn't have gotten here this fast either. But the timeline doesn't add up. Could this rift be the super rare time rift? But that doesn't make sense. Time rifts are all extremely dangerous rifts. Tianfo Mountain doesn't look like that kind of place at all. You started to get suspicious. According to the textbooks, there are many types of spatial rifts from alien invasions. Time rifts are among the most dangerous of them all. The most famous feature of time rifts is that no matter what time you enter, you exit at the exact same time. Even if you spend years inside, you come out at the exact moment you went in. These rifts are the most sought-after rifts out there. Once one is discovered, not only will it not be destroyed, all kinds of forces will fight over it. There are even rumors that just the coordinates of a single time rift was once sold for a sky-high price of 80 million. Thinking about that, you immediately felt like you just lost $1 billion, no? 10 billion. You're kicking yourself so hard right now. Can only stare helplessly at this noob team in front of you. Step into the rift. But here's the jaw-dropping part. Right as the noob team was about to step into the rift's light suddenly vanished. Almost made the noob team, whose every member is at least entry level, take a nasty tumble. The entire noob team was totally confused. A tiny female team member asked confusedly, "Captain, what just happened? Did we make it inside?" The captain was also dumbfounded, looking at the completely unchanged surroundings. He also looked totally lost. Maybe we didn't go in? Everyone went quiet. No one knew what was going on. They'd memorized all the rules. The team members who'd spent who knows how long studying doubted their own knowledge for the first time ever. The rift actually vanished right when they were about to step in. That makes zero sense. As everyone knows, rifts only disappear after they've been fully cleared. Some even need to be broken up on purpose. But nothing like this has ever happened before. It's like it's playing hide and seek with them. Maybe we should report this. No one knew who broke the silence, said to the captain. The captain nodded. You hiding in the nearby bushes saw this whole scene. Were almost dying of laughter, clamping your hand over your mouth to stay quiet. This is so freaking hilarious. You had a weird thought right then. Earlier you felt like you'd lost out on $1 billion. But now you suddenly realized no one else could get that billion either. This feeling was as satisfying as eating a popsicle on the hottest summer day. It's not nice, I know, but it feels amazing, right? The noob team probably got a reply and left within a few minutes. To play it safe, you waited a few more minutes before carefully crawling out of the bushes, brushed off your clothes and headed home. When you woke up, you felt totally refreshed and stretched luxuriously. But when you were washing up, you suddenly frowned. When did this happen? Who did this to me? You saw on your left wrist. There was suddenly a new red dot the size of a teardrop mole between a woman's brows. You tentatively touched it with your finger. The next second you were teleported, right back to the Tianfo Mountain's secret realm. Seeing this magical scene, you almost squealed out loud in excitement. Only then did you realize that the teardrop mark on your hand was actually the token to enter the Kyanfo Mountain Time Rift. After getting this Kyanfo Mountain Time Rift, you not only can openly stay here and eat iron-tailed eagle corpses, you can also use the Time Rift's slower time flow compared to the outside world to get multiple times the cultivation speed boost. So for the next few days, you stayed obediently in the Kyanfo Mountain Secret Realm, cultivating. When you were hungry, you caught a few iron-tailed eagles to stew and eat until your Power Claw skill reached full mastery. You found eating iron-tailed eagles barely had any effect anymore. So after thinking it over many times, you decided to eat a different type of demon beast. For this purpose, you specially got a detailed demon beast illustrated guide and studied it carefully. After weighing and comparing repeatedly, you finally set your sights on the Wind Chaser Wolf. The reason you picked it is because its signature skill can boost speed by 30%. This skill is great for supporting in combat. After picking your target, you started asking around for information on Wind Chaser Wolves. Soon you learned from your aunt Chen Jungshu that in this Fire Seed elimination tournament, in the rift of the first round's competition venue, Wind Chaser Wolves do exist there. The so-called Fire Seed elimination tournament is a test held by various forces to select talents. Only those who stand out in the tournament can represent their force to visit other alliances and compete on the international stage. You originally thought that this competition where you fight against top talents would be super fancy and formal, but when you arrived at the competition site, you only saw a man in a black uniform, expressionlessly, leading all of you into a rift space, then casually said, "You have one day to kill demon beasts alone. Collect their right ears as proof. You get points based on the demon beast's level. These motorcycles are for you, one per person." With that, he gave such a simple instruction and turned around to leave, leaving behind a group of shocked geniuses. This is totally not what they imagined. They should be treated like beloved superstars, right? How come everything is so sloppy that it doesn't even feel like an assessment, but some janky amateur setup, unlike everyone else who's frustrated? You've already spotted something fishy. There are cameras all over so many spots here. This makes you feel really heavy-hearted. Cameras will mess up all the plans you have. Everything will work out eventually. Screw it. Under everyone's watchful eyes, you hop onto a motorcycle first, twist the throttle, and zoom right off. Everyone else freezes for a second when they see this. Then someone yells, "Go!" out of nowhere. Don't let him get a head start. Over 300 students immediately scatter in all directions and spread out across this wasteland. After you've been riding the motorcycle for 15 minutes, you finally spot in a patch of bushes the target of this mission, the Wind Chaser Wolf. But you don't act right away. Instead, you carefully check if there are cameras nearby. But what shocks you is that just around this small patch of bushes, there are a whopping 86 cameras. You instantly get a bad headache seeing this. How am I supposed to deal with the Wind Chaser Wolves with so many cameras around? Killing them? I've totally got that covered. With your cultivation almost at the 7th stage, and a perfected force field, as long as the wolves don't all attack at once, you've got nothing to be scared of. But killing them for no reason is such a waste. You can't exactly stew the dead wolves and eat them. Right in front of the cameras, can you? That'd be such a terrible waste of good meat. Finally, after thinking for over 10 minutes, you come up with an idea. First, you pick up a rock from the ground and hurl it hard at a spot in the bushes. Immediately, a pained howl rings out. Then a Wind Chaser Wolf jumps right out of the bushes. Just when everyone thinks you're gonna lure one out and kill it slowly, you do something totally unexpected. Facing the leaping Wind Chaser Wolf, you quickly pick up the motorcycle from the ground and jump right on it, twist the throttle again, and roar off with the engine rumbling loud. But you're going the wrong way. You're not driving outward. You're driving straight toward the bushes. This weird move of yours not only confuses the Wind Chaser Wolf, it also stuns everyone watching in the control room. Right after that, just when everyone thinks you're gonna charge into the bushes, surprise, you stop. And even taunt the chasing Wind Chaser Wolf by waving it over. How can a Wind Chaser Wolf take that insult? It lunges straight at you. Right when it's mid-leap toward you, you twist the throttle again real quick. The Wind Chaser Wolf flies right into the bushes and hits 2 other wolves that were fooling around. 2 more wolf howls ring out. In the blink of an eye, 2 more Wind Chaser Wolves run over at the sound. You snicker and keep teasing them. After messing around for a while, right behind your motorcycle, there are no less than 50 Wind Chaser Wolves chasing you. This trick stuns everyone watching. Wait, what the hell is this kid trying to do? Is he just messing around for fun? Once he runs out of gas, he's a dead man for sure. The recorders can't even analyze at this point. What the hell you're up to? Mr. Chen, I suggest we send someone to pull this contestant out of the competition. If he keeps this up, I'm scared he'll get himself killed. You know, our cameras along the path have blind spots. We didn't install them in a lot of areas. If an accident happens, Chen Jingshu of course knows exactly what the recorders mean, no matter how capable they are. They can't put cameras literally everywhere. The areas with lots of cameras were all set up on purpose by them. And what you're doing right now has already broken quite a few cameras for one, and you're heading the wrong direction too. Once you leave the exam range, there aren't that many cameras around. If real danger hits, then we won't be able to help. Chen Jingshu falls deep in thought. After a long while, he says with a strained voice, "Leave him alone. See what he's trying to do. Jiangnan, take the Blackwing Eagle to check on him. Jiangnan will handle this right away." After entering the rift space, Jiangnan is also a little anxious. "Kid, don't get yourself killed." You look at the growing number of wind chaser wolves behind you, your face full of excitement. You're practically drooling. That's 70 to 80 of them now. Then you check your current location. There are basically no cameras around anymore, so you get a lot bolder. Gradually start closing the distance between you and the wind chaser wolves. Right at this moment, the fastest wind chaser wolf is already almost catching up to you. You grin at the wind chaser wolf and say, "Come on, sweetie, just as you finish speaking." You touch the red mole on your wrist with a whooshing sound. That wind chaser wolf is gone. This leaves the other nearby wind chaser wolves, totally confused for a second. Where did my huge buddy go? You seize the chance while the two confused wind chaser wolves are still dazed. And two more whoosh and disappear too. You're panting heavily, watching the billowing dust from the wolves behind you. You lick your lips slightly. It might look like you took it easy just now, but it's actually super hard to pull off. You have to touch the wind chaser wolf to get it inside the secret realm, and getting them inside doesn't mean you can do whatever you want in the Thousand Buddha Mountain secret realm. If one day you throw some being you can't mess with into the Thousand Buddha Mountain secret realm, you probably won't even dare enter the secret realm ever again. But no matter what, the meat still rots in the pot anyway. As long as they enter the Thousand Buddha Mountain secret realm, half their body is already in your pot. Eating them is just a matter of time. After taking care of 6 wolves in a row, you quickly pick up your motorcycle and keep running. Can't stay in one spot for too long. It's way too easy to get spotted. Gotta go provoke another group, then catch them too. That's your plan. If you go one by one, you'll always be under camera surveillance, even if you're not. What good are 1 or 2 wolves? They'll be gone in a few days. So if you want high yields, you gotta take high risks, provoking a whole pack of wind chaser wolves. Who can tell how many there are exactly? Even if you enter the camera surveillance area later, and they notice fewer wind chaser wolves, what does that have to do with you? The wolves could have just stopped chasing, right? There's so many wolves, no one cares if a few are missing. Right now behind you, you've steadily lured about 50 to 60 wind chaser wolves for a while now. Every time you think the number is just right, you run out of the surveillance area to catch them. 7 or 8 at a time. Jiangnan was rushing over frantically to check on your condition, and you naturally spot that familiar figure too. Once you see it's Jiangnan, you tone it down a lot. You stop catching wolves and start actually fighting. You take down the first charging wind chaser wolf with just a few slashes. Clean and efficient. You quickly chop off its right ear, then dig out its inner core. You abandon the wolf meat with a heavy heart, then ride the motorcycle and run. Jiangnan, watching from above, is also confused by your moves, muttering to himself, "You can do that." He just saw clearly how efficiently you took down the wind chaser wolf. Part of it is because your strength is top tier. Part of it is because the wind chaser wolf was exhausted from chasing. Because he noticed that wind chaser wolf's speed was at least 40% lower than its peak. Your method looks dangerous, sure, but the rewards are totally not low at all. Using the advantage of being able to ride a motorcycle, you don't waste your own stamina while wearing out the wind chaser wolves' stamina. Then when the wind chaser wolves are worn out, you kill them instantly. Kill as many as you can. Run when it's time to leave. Repeat this cycle over and over. It's basically unbeatable. Jiangnan is blown away. Who knew there was such a cheeky trick? But there's one problem here. Motorcycles run on gas. What do you do when you run out of gas? Right now, you seem to know exactly what he's worried about. When you see the motorcycle start alerting you that fuel is running low, you head towards a certain area. Just as Jiangnan is wondering what you're up to, you park your motorcycle next to a bush. You yell towards the bush, "Hey classmate, want to swap motorcycles with me?" A shivering student comes out from inside. On the verge of tears, Big Boss. "Don't mess with me, please. Get your pack of wolves away from here." You grin, this bike can still go 20 kilometers. "You take my bike and ride that way. I'll take your bike and ride the other way. I won't cause you any trouble, I promise. How's that sound? The student is almost crying, big boss. Stop messing with me, okay? If I don't have a bike, how am I supposed to compete in this wasteland? I'm Lin Jing, I can't dash fast like Rong Jing, okay? You put on a cheeky grin after hearing that. If you don't swap, I'm not leaving. What are you gonna do then, huh? The student's face turns bright red. Big boss, don't push me too far. If you push me over the edge, I'll fight you first. Then hop on the bike and bolt. If you can run, so can I. But you gave a mysterious smile when you heard that. Is that so, as you spoke? You swung your sharp claw out suddenly. A wind chaser wolf hiding in the bushes that was trying to sneak attack you got crushed outright just like that. The student was so shocked he was screaming internally. He said through tears, "Bro, you could have just robbed me straight up. Why did you even bother to ask first? You're actually so nice, huh?" You waved your hand. "Can't do that. We're classmates after all. We might have to fight side by side later. Robbing is just rude." The student caved in the end, because the smoke of war was billowing behind him and getting thicker by the second. Obviously, a huge pack of wolves was coming. If they don't leave now, you can outrun them, but he definitely can't. So the student could only hand you the key through teary eyes to trade for your motorcycle. "Bro, you gotta keep your word, okay? I'll go left. You go right." You nodded in satisfaction. "No problem. Oh, right. Take that wolf ear with you, as compensation." With that, you hopped on the bike and sped off. Looking at the full tank of gas, you felt super secure. The student standing behind thought he just got a free wolf ear. He actually felt a little touched. Jungnan on the black-red eagle watched what you did, slowly picked up the special walkie-talkie in his hand. "Ancestor Chen, should we keep following him? Should we keep following him?" In the command room, both Chen Zhongshu and the record keepers went silent. "This kid is so fucking cheeky." Everyone saw how you crushed that wind chaser wolf just now. That wind chaser wolf had at least rank 5 strength, and you crushed it with one single move. You've got this much power. Why aren't you just killing them properly? Why do you have to pull this kind of stunt? What are you after? Thrills? Excitement? Chen Zhongshu was silent for a moment, rubbed his temples and said, "Pull them back. Let him do whatever dumb shit he wants." It was the first time he felt, "He couldn't figure you out, you little rascal." He silently cursed you as a little brat in his head. As for the record keepers, they also silently kept writing in their notebooks. Outstanding strength, but very cheeky. Some even straight up wrote mentally ill. At the same time, on the other side, you totally let loose. You let a pack of wind chaser wolves rampaging across the wasteland. You messed up group after group of demon beasts. They couldn't get any peace at all. Looking from far away, there was a pack of wolves trailing behind you, a few bears behind the wolves, and 3-legged golden roosters chasing behind the bears. This scene was absolutely spectacular. Time passed little by little. The sky slowly got dark. Your motorcycle's headlights were super conspicuous. You had no idea where you'd run to by now. As night fell, it got more and more convenient for you to do your thing. You'd kill a few every now and then, catch a few, but as for the violent bears behind the wind chaser wolves, you didn't dare mess with them, because you could tell just from their aura how strong those violent bears were. You couldn't afford to mess with them, so you only caught wolves. Lin Jing's body already had some supernatural traits. Pulling all-nighters was no problem for her, at least. Actually, you weren't the only one busy. Everyone else was busy too. Who dared to sleep at a time like this? Sleep and you'll get overtaken by others. You might even get eliminated. Everyone was trying their hardest to kill wolves. When dawn broke, you timed it perfectly and hid in the Qianfo Mountain secret realm. Time to stew meat, it'll take around 45 minutes. Wind chaser wolf meat, 80 gram strong liquor, 200 gram dried chili peppers, 10 bay leaves, simmer on low heat. Review, hard to swallow. But if you're starving, you can still have a bite. It was still that same tsundere review, but it was obviously way better than the last time. It changed from not even dogs eat this to difficult to swallow. That means your cooking level is getting better and better. Overjoyed, you heated up oil in the pot, throw in the wolf meat, throw in the seasonings. While you were inside heating up oil to cook, the demon beasts outside were going crazy. Wolves howled, tigers roared, bears growled, all looking for you. They'd been led around like fools all day. Every single demon beast was holding a grudge. They all wanted to eat you, this annoying human, to vent their anger. But no matter how crazily they searched, they just couldn't find any trace of you. So a group of demon beasts launched a massive sweep, spreading out everywhere. That really sucked for the guys taking the exam. All of them wanted to grind harder than everyone else at night, but they never expected to run into a riot. Not just any riot, a demon beast riot. It even drew out Fusion Realm demon beasts. That menacing aura made everyone's blood run cold. They all had to hide in the bushes. using every trick they had to stay hidden, and didn't dare to kill any demon beasts. A lot of people were screaming internally, "My grades are already bad enough as it is. Now I'm totally screwed." This left the command room pretty helpless too. "Director Chen, where did that kid run off to? These demon beasts are totally nuts. We've never had a trainee this troublesome in all past assessments. We don't even know how many cameras got destroyed," someone mumbled under their breath. Chen Zhengshu's face immediately dropped. "What, we don't have money for a few cameras?" This is the assessment for the Spark competition. The Spark selection process. When an accident like this happens, it's obviously your fault for bad contingency planning. How can you blame the contestants? The group got chewed out until their faces turned bright red. How were we supposed to know we'd get a contestant like this? Time dragged by painfully. Finally, the sun came up. After daybreak, the rioting demon beasts gradually calmed down. It's not like they had a choice. They couldn't find the guy they were after. You, on the other hand, were full and well-rested. You even snuck a nap in the sutra depository. Then you took out your small backpack, sat cross-legged on the ground, and started counting your loot. 35 right ears total. This score should be good enough, right? At least I won't get eliminated. But just to be on the safe side, you bit the bullet. Caught 5 more wind-chasing wolves in the Qianfo Mountain secret realm. To make it an even 40. Now you were sure you were good? Gotta eat all this wolf meat fast in the next 2 days. Otherwise, it'll go bad. Guess that's a good problem to have. After you finished all that, you let out a loud burp and walked out of the Qianfo Mountain secret realm. Sure enough, after you got out, there were no more pursuers outside. You snickered, picked a direction, and bolted. It was around 10 a.m. Contestants started coming back one by one, but none of them looked happy. This is so damn annoying. Got nothing the whole night. Didn't dare move an inch. Didn't even dare sleep. Scared of getting ambushed by rioting demon beasts. This night was the worst treatment they've gotten. Since they entered the workforce, almost everyone was back. The assessment team showed up too. They checked their watches. 3 minutes left. Anyone who doesn't make it back on time is eliminated. Everyone was looking around at the people next to them. When they noticed you weren't there, a lot of people sneered to themselves. He still hasn't come back. He's probably not coming back at all. 1 minute left. Just as the assessment team was about to make the announcement, the roar of a motorcycle could be heard. A young guy came zooming over on the bike. He even did a fancy drift when he stopped, then jumped off the motorcycle. The people in the crowd whose motorcycles you stole were all screaming internally. "Oh my God, why is this menace still alive?" Other people don't know what caused the riot. How could they not know? But hearing everyone complain so angrily, they didn't dare say anything. They couldn't afford to mess with you. But those guys were probably thinking the same thing. So they all ended up standing behind you at the same time and whispered, "Boss, can I follow you from now on? After all, we have that free motorcycle friendship." You couldn't just ignore them. You replied with a smile, "If you want to follow me, let's get out of here first. I don't take weaklings on my team." You were still bragging proudly. When someone from the assessment team yelled loudly, you jumped in fright. The assessment team was glaring at you furiously. They were fuming. You had given them so much extra work, and now you were whispering over there. They had to teach you a lesson. Talk again, and you're disqualified. The scene went quiet. You felt helpless. You could feel the raging anger coming off them, but you obviously didn't do anything wrong. Is this guy on his period or something? It took a full half hour to count the scores. The final result was pretty surprising. First off, the top spot wasn't yours, surprisingly. It was someone no one had ever paid attention to before. Xiaoqi, first place with 53 kills. The rankings just came out. A lot of people immediately got upset about it. Who the hell is Xiaoqi? Never heard of him. Is this some kind of fraud? But then a determined-looking guy, with dark skin, tall and lanky, stepped out from the crowd. Everyone shut up all at once. Even the examiner's mouth twitched up into a tiny smile. "'Cause this kid's way more well-behaved than your troublemaking ass. He hasn't slacked off for a second since entering the rift, hunting monster beasts step by step, even heading out to hunt bravely at night. He's not just brave. He's super careful too. Everyone else was scared of getting surrounded by large groups of monster beasts, so they played it safe. After all, for these people from good backgrounds, the worst case is just getting a lower rank. Safety comes first, even if they don't make the cut here. They've got other options to fall back on. But for Xiaoqi, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And that kind of drive made a lot of people nod in approval. Someone this hardworking deserves this result, it makes sense. Next up, the second place goes to Xu Tianjiao with 48 kills. Third place, Zhuge Zhengyi with 45 kills. When you heard the results for second and third place, you didn't pay much attention, because you knew Your 40 kills definitely got you a spot on the list. You just weren't sure if you'd rank high or low. That was exactly what you wanted, though. You showed you had skills, but didn't stand out too much. But what you didn't know was, in everyone else's eyes, you already stood out way more than the first place guy. But what shocked you was those 3 guys standing behind you actually made the cut too. They got into the top 16. Seeing your suspicious look, the 3 of them said helplessly, "Boss!" "We just looked bad next to you in that little race. We're not actually that useless." You didn't expect them to call you out like that, so you laughed awkwardly. "Stop calling me boss. I'm just a regular average guy. Just call me Fat Monkey from now on." The 3 of them weren't rude enough to do that, so they just called you Brother Monkey instead. Naturally, the top 16 contestants stayed. Everyone else went home. You were a little confused. The difficulty of this fire seed competition is way too low. How are they going to pick any real talent like this?
But you stopped thinking that the next day...
Because the top 16 round is the real test. According to the strategy department's calculations, a beast tide will attack the 3rd domain tomorrow. All of you will be split up, assigned to the 13 cities army, and fight alongside actual elite soldiers to face that terrifying beast tide head on. But right now, all of you are only at the spirit realm cultivation level, so just to be safe. Before you set off, the assessment team gave each of you a fusion realm monster beast core. If you take this core, you can break through the spirit realm and reach the fusion realm. But none of the 16 contestants who got the cores used it right away, because breaking through with a regular monster beast core limits your future growth. Once you take it, your potential for future improvement is basically capped, so unless it's absolutely necessary, no one would gamble their own future like that. Soon, the assessment team took all of you to the front line of the battle. The first phase mission is super simple. All you have to do is go from your current location to the marked spot on the map, then join the combat squad prepared by the assessment team. And that's it. After that, the combat squad will give you your second phase mission. But there's one thing different this time. Hello? Hello? Contestant Fat Monkey. Come in if you hear me. Come in if you hear me. Your recorder is tilted. Adjust it to face straight. You sighed helplessly when you heard that voice. Yeah, that's the difference this time. Every single one of you got a recorder, and you can't lose it. Lose it and you're disqualified, which means it's going to be really hard for you to do any side stuff secretly. Where? I'm adjusting it right now. You adjusted the recorder and started moving according to the map at the same time, but you'd only walked a few hundred steps when you heard a bunch of howling and screaming coming from up ahead. Right after that, more than 10 old friends showed up. As soon as you saw they were howling moonhounds, you got super excited immediately. You can't stop drooling all over the place. Earlier you were still worrying about how to train your olfactory skill. Now that over 10 howling moondogs have appeared, they are more than enough to get your olfaction proficiency up to the minor mastery level. In the command room, Jungnan stares at the screen worriedly. Mr. Chen, aren't you being a little too harsh on Chubby Monkey? You sent over 10 howling moondogs near his level at once. I'm scared he won't be able to handle it. Chen Junxiu twitches the corner of his mouth. You're underestimating him way too much. He caused such a huge ruckus in the first elimination round. You don't think that's all he's got, do you? That little rascal is way more capable than you think. Once he takes care of this batch, just flip the switch for the second batch directly. Jiangnan is stunned. Mr. Chen, are you serious? There are a full 50 howling moondogs in the second batch, plus a dog king half a step into the melting realm. Chen Junxiu nods seriously and says, relax. Even if he can't beat them, he can still run. We have to temper his arrogance a little, otherwise he'll get way too cocky in the future. Jiangnan has nothing to say. That kid is indeed too naughty. He's even starting to worry about you a little now. At the same time, on the other side, you're facing 10 howling moondogs. You grin and say, heh, you're here. Little darlings, as you speak, you burst out with full power. Your whole body leaps out like a cannonball. You jump straight onto a 4 to 5 meter tall big tree, then you throw your long blade out at full speed. The moment the long blade leaves your hand, an amazing scene unfolds. Your force palm, which you've trained to perfect mastery, actually transforms into a blood-red palm and grips the long blade steadily. The long blade sweeps horizontally immediately. The 3 howling moondogs charging at the very front are beheaded right where they stand. Even the well-experienced Zhang Nan, watching the footage from the recorder, can't help but cry out in shock. Holy shit, perfect mastery! Zhang Nan's shocked exclamation draws all the nearby colleagues over. Everyone who sees the force palm controlling the long blade remotely has a shocked expression on their face. This kid is the guy who caused trouble everywhere in round 1. Oh my god, how old is he anyway? He's just in his 3rd year of high school, and he already trained a skill to perfect mastery. Is he a genius or just extremely hardworking? Just then, Jiang Nan looks at Chen Zhengxiu, who's been fully confident this entire time, and asks confusedly, "Mr. Chen, did you already know how strong Chubby Monkey is?" Chen Zhengxiu smiles slightly. "He's one of our own after all." That one line seems to say everything, and yet it also seems to say nothing at all. At the same time, on the other side, you beheading the 3 Howling Moondogs has completely enraged the remaining 7 Howling Moondogs. They're totally blinded by rage, and all rush forward at once, leaping crazily straight towards you, and spitting out glowing objects from their mouths. Your heart skips a beat. You know this is the Howling Moondogs, other than their sense of smell, most powerful special ability. Why are Howling Moondogs called that anyway? It's exactly because of this glowing disc. When seen from far away, it looks just like the moon. What's more, it's a long-range attack. You dodge nimbly, avoiding the instant kill from the concentrated fire. The huge tree behind you shatters and flies apart, into pieces everywhere. That shows how powerful this Howling Moondog move is. But you don't chicken out either. You swing your long blade and roar. Come on, 10 minutes later, you have a smile on the corner of your mouth. You stand up straight with a look full of contempt. Sheathe your long blade and wipe the blood off the edge lightly. Tiny Howling Moondogs are nothing special. It's super cocky and super edgy. But at your age, fighting 10 same-level Howling Moondogs alone, you're already pretty outstanding. But just when you're about to cover the camera, to secretly collect the Howling Moondog corpses, you're so shocked by the scene in front of you that your eyes almost pop out of your head. Fuck, did I just break into a dog den? You see a huge dark mass up ahead. A full 50 Howling Moondogs, charging straight at you aggressively. You immediately forget about collecting the corpses, and run for your life as fast as you can. That's 50 of them. They could eat you alive bite by bite. But running for your life isn't that easy. Earlier you could kite them, mostly because you had the motorcycle as a huge advantage. Now you don't have the motorcycle anymore. Running on your own 2 legs, even if you run at your maximum speed, you can barely keep ahead of them. It's literally a human flying in front, with dogs chasing right behind. Can't widen the gap at all. You look totally disheveled and embarrassed. Dude, you're so screwed right now. Looking at the nearest Howling Moondog, it's less than 5 meters away from catching you. You can clearly feel the skill the dog spat out, whiz right past your body. You're screaming inside that you can't take this anymore. If you weren't carrying a camera on you, you'd definitely hide in the Thousand Buddha Mountain secret realm. This whole thing is way too much to handle. You instinctively move the camera to block that side. The nearest Howling Moondog lunges straight at you. You curse under your breath in your head. The second it makes contact with you, you move fast and pull it into the secret realm. You thought you could finally breathe a sigh of relief. But little did you know, the other Howling Moondogs see their companion vanish and become even more violent. They start chasing you even harder. They're sprinting after you like crazy. You're running for your life. But whenever you get the chance, you secretly pull one into the secret realm. But you don't take all of them. You even fight back when the opportunity comes. Eventually, the number of Howling Moondogs keeps dropping. But you're also about to pass out from exhaustion, just relying on your own 2 feet. You've run for dozens of miles already. If your body wasn't strengthened by chi, you would have collapsed a long time ago, when there are only 6 or 7 Howling Moondogs left. A Howling Moondog with half-red eyes howls loudly. Your heart skips a beat. If you're guessing right, this big buff Howling Moondog is definitely the pack leader. You can feel the leader emitting a terrifying half-step integration realm aura. You know for sure you can't beat it in a fight, so you run even faster. You don't even dare turn your head back now. You run for who knows how many hours, and have no clue where you've ended up. You suddenly notice the Howling Moondogs have stopped chasing, even though their vicious eyes are still staring fixedly at the direction you ran. They don't dare take a single step forward. When you see the dogs aren't chasing anymore, you also let out a sigh of relief. You run for another 5 or 6 minutes, before you climb up a tree and huff out a long breath. Those damn dogs are so freaking ruthless. Their sense of smell is incredibly sharp. You can't shake them off no matter what you do. Yep, Howling Moondogs have super sensitive sense of smell. You really can't get away from them. I heard there's special powder to deal with them. But you don't have any. You're here to participate in the assessment. Who's gonna give you that kind of gear anyway? But when you check your map again later, you're completely dumbfounded. Where the hell is this place? All the markers on the map are totally wrong now. You have no idea where you ran off to. But right after that, a deafening roar bursts out. The sound wave alone makes your head ring nonstop. You curl up instinctively, leaning your body against the tree trunk. Your eyes are fixed tightly on the source of the sound. You're totally shocked. You see 5 people in black uniforms. They're obviously military personnel, with a tiger emblem on their sleeves, are fighting a giant beast that's a full 10 meters tall. Trading blows, yeah, straight up trading attacks. The 5 people each guard a direction, forming an encirclement around the beast. All of them are using long-range skills. You're so shocked your jaw can't even close. Holy shit. That's the Hurricane Beast's wind vortex. That's the signature skill of the Hurricane Beast. Oh my god, what's that? Flame arrow shot. That's the signature move of the lava behemoth. All 5 of them have their own special tricks, and from how relaxed they look. They're all very skilled at what they do. The most important thing is, the giant beast is also dodging. A lot of the skills miss completely, and land directly on the ground. Some leave a huge patch of fire. Others summon a huge hurricane, which was meant to seal off the fire, but made it burn even more fiercely. You're so scared you can't even move. You grip your wrist tightly. The second you sense anything even slightly wrong, you'll run straight into the Thousand Buddha Mountain secret realm. The battle is at least 1 kilometer away from you right now. Even so, you can still feel the scorching heat coming at you, and the impact of the sound waves. Your eyes immediately light up with excitement. This is what a real cultivator is like. Is this the power of the integration realm? But the next second, you realize you're dead wrong, because the giant beast loses its temper. It bursts out an aura so strong you can barely stand. This is definitely not the integration realm. Integration realm cultivators can't be this powerful. It must be the mystic realm. You're guessing, but the next second, you realize you're wrong again. When the giant beast puts up a fight, the 5 men also bring out their best moves. One of them is obviously the leader. He unleashes a suppressive aura casually, with a loud boom, even from a mile away. You feel like you've entered a special realm. An indescribable feeling rises in you. Surrender or submit. You can't tell the difference anymore. Beads of sweat are pouring down your forehead. You're clenching your jaw so tight, it's making a creaking noise. You force out a few shocking words. King's domain. You're about to lose your mind. King class! King class! Those are people ordinary folks never get to meet in their entire lives. And one's right in front of you right now, clear as day. If you weren't too weak to straighten up right now, you'd be absolutely thrilled. As for the man who unleashed the suppressive domain, frowns slightly and glances in your direction, before going back to focusing on the giant beast in front of him. The pressure on you suddenly drops too. You've really had an eye-opener today. You now know what a high-end fight looks like. A king-class battle. It's not exactly world-destroying, but it's definitely earth-shattering. To catch this whole show, you tough it out under the pressure instead of running away. Since I'm already here, it'd be a waste to leave before it ends. A full half-hour passes. You've gotten your full fill of excitement. You're totally enjoying the show, but the people in the command room are panicking like crazy
because they noticed
your camera has lost signal. What that means goes without saying. Everyone's scrambling to restore your signal on your end as an ice spike pierces through the giant beast's body. This fierce battle finally comes to a complete end. The king-class man lets out a sigh of relief. Clean up the battlefield. Get the essence blood and inner core out. Then he turns sideways, and in just a few steps, whoosh, he's right in front of you. Hey kid, where'd you come from? What are you doing here? You wipe the sweat off your forehead and hurry to speak. Sir, I'm a participant in the assessment. Right after that, you tell him the whole story of how you got chased all the way here. The king-class man laughs. You little rascal. What are you doing in a place like this? Your test site is in the outer ring. This is the inner ring already. You're lucky though. With the deterrent of the king-class demon beast, no demon beast dare to stay around here. Otherwise, the second you walked in, even an ant could have killed you. Even the weakest demon beast here is at wrong class level. You freeze when you hear that. You had no idea you were in that much danger. You counted on having the Thousand Buddha Mountain secret realm, so you got a little too cocky. You thought if you can't fight, you can always run. But you forgot, what if they just stay and don't leave? Besides, if they attack before you even have time to react, you'd be dead for sure. The thought sends a chill down your spine. Scared now, huh? The smile on the king-class man's face grows wider, especially after you tell him your background. All right, no demon beast will come back for the next half day. We have to go support the inner domain. Have one of my men get you a map. Find your own way out. You take the map. This map is way better than the one you have. It clearly marks tons of locations. It's obviously an official strategic map. Sir, I'll take it then. What will you use? The man bursts out laughing. Do you think I need this thing? All right, stop yapping. Get lost quick. You really want to leave. And you know, this place is super dangerous. but you're a little reluctant to go. You keep looking back every few steps. The man sees how you're acting and knows exactly what you're thinking. He looks at you amusedly. What? Never seen a king-class demon beast before. Want to take a look? You look like your thoughts have been read and laugh sheepishly. I've never eaten one before, actually. Wait, no, I mean I've never seen one. I'm just really curious. For some reason, the man actually grabs you and walks back until you reach the king-class demon beast's body. Once you get close, your breath starts to quicken. Just then, a voice came from beside you. See. Now that you've had your fun, piss off, as he said that. He turned to the busy men in black and said, Shunzi, cut off one claw finger for this kid. Drill a hole in it. Shunzi, who was called, looked totally shocked. He really wanted to ask where you came from, but obeying orders was his top priority, so he didn't say anything. He chopped off one claw from the monster. It was a full half-meter long. Then he drilled a hole in it and tossed it over. The man caught it and handed it to you. Hang this around your neck if you want to live. It'll at least get you out of here safely. You were totally confused, staring at this half-meter long thing in front of you that reeked of terrifying energy and was shiny as hell. You were dumbfounded, thinking this big shot was messing with you. Hang it around my neck. This thing is half a meter long. You measured the length of the sharp tip. If you hung this on, the tip would reach your 18-centimeter little bro down there. The man was dying of laughter inside, but he just nodded calmly. You were super awkward about it, but you could tell he wasn't messing with you, and he didn't mean you any harm, so you gritted your teeth and put it on. Sure enough, it felt super heavy and oppressive once you had it on. You had to hold it carefully the whole time, otherwise the sharp edge would cut your little bro. All right, we're heading out. Make sure you get back to the outer area within 2 hours. After the king rank man finished speaking, he yelled to his underlings who had already collected the monster's essence core, even its teeth, and skinned its hide off. Let's go, keep clearing the area. Whoosh, the whole group vanished in a flash. You stared at the huge monster corpse in front of you. You were practically drooling. But you couldn't help yelling after them, Boss, what's your name? A distant voice drifted back a moment later. Mo! My last name is Mo. You immediately racked your brains. Oh right, the old principal's last name is Mo. I heard the old principal's son is super capable. No way this is his son, right? But if he really is the principal's son, the son is this badass. Why is the old man so low-key? You couldn't figure it out, so you shook your head and stopped thinking about it because you had more important stuff to take care of. Next, you adjusted the camera and started wandering around the king rank monster, pretending you were inspecting it. After more than 10 minutes, you smirked, turned slightly to block the camera, and swiped the king rank monster into your storage in a blink. Your heart was pounding like crazy while you did this. It felt like it was gonna jump out of your chest. King rank, this is a king rank monster. How strong would I get if I eat this? Man, a horse doesn't get fat without extra grass. And a man doesn't get rich without a windfall, that's so true. I'm gonna level up so hard after this. You wanted nothing more than to hide in your secret realm right now and make a king rank monster-flavored Chinese crepe, but you forced yourself to hold back. It's way too unsafe here right now. Old Mo just said, we have to get out within 2 hours. Half an hour's already gone by. Gotta haul ass out of here. But your walking posture looked super weird. With a half-meter long monster claw hanging around your neck, you carefully avoided the sharp tip as you walked. You checked the map and suddenly realized, that's why the howling moondogs stopped chasing me. This is the damn boundary line. Those dogs are so smart. When you stepped outside the boundary line, back in the command room, your camera signal popped up again on the screen. Zhangnan yelled in surprise, Fat monkey's back. Chen Zhengxiu walked over quickly. She was terrified when you went missing earlier. She was scared something bad had happened to you. But the second the signal reconnected, the footage recorded earlier started uploading through the network. Everyone went silent. Zhangnan stared at your footage in shock and mumbled, Chenzu, this kid's got balls of steel. I'm scared he's gonna get himself killed at this rate. That's inside the restricted zone. How dare he go there? That's the actual front line. How can a near-rank guy like him be that bold? Chen Zhengxiu was also silent. She admitted you'd caught her off guard again. The footage clearly showed how you were forced to go inside, even though it was a bit choppy. But there's no denying 50 howling moondogs put a lot of pressure on you. It also caught the footage of you watching the battle. Even though the camera was shaky, you could tell that you stayed calm under the king's domain. That's already super impressive. Then Zhangnan asked curiously, Team Mo seems to know Fat Monkey. Didn't they say he hasn't been back in years? Chen Zhengxiu came back to his senses. A faint smirk tugged at his pretty lips. Can't I have seen his photo before? Zhangnan patted his forehead. It suddenly dawned on him. Fair point, but this kid is so lucky. It's a total blessing in disguise. He not only watched a huge fight, but also got a finger from a king-tier demon beast. Get someone to forge it with a hidden mechanism later. He won't worry about weapons for a really long time. Even he can't help being jealous about that. Sharp parts from king-tier demon beasts make weapons you can't buy even with millions of cash. And he just got one that easily... There's even a bit of skin left on that finger. Tweak it a little and it makes a perfect pair of gauntlets. Its defense is absolutely insane. How could anyone not be jealous? It's not just Jungnan who's jealous. Everyone else is super envious too. I mean, none of them even have one themselves. Ignoring all the chatter in the command room, you keep moving forward. You've already wasted way too much time. The sun is about to set soon. You have to find your assigned squad, or you'll lose your qualification. You don't want to come all this way for nothing. But when you arrive at the marker on the map, you aren't greeted by your squad members. Instead, you get a hailstorm of bullets. Your scalp goes numb with shock. Fuck, someone's ambushing me with firearms. Sure, firearms don't work well on demon beasts, but they're super deadly for someone at your level. You're jumping all over the place to avoid the bullets. If you hadn't reacted fast and hid behind a giant tree, you would have died right there just now. Just thinking about it gives you the creeps. You're super anxious, listening to the thudding sound of bullets hitting the giant tree. Your adrenaline is going through the roof. This is so damn thrilling. You're quick-witted, so you figure it out right away. The assessment said you need to find your own squad. You thought they'd be your teammates. Who knew they'd be your enemies instead? No need to guess, this is a test for you. Just then, you hear people yelling, Hey, fat monkey, right. Hand over your contestant card, and we'll stop shooting at you. Yep, you were right about your guess. Hand over the card. You snort coldly in your head. If I hand over my card, I lose my qualification for good. That's completely unacceptable to you. People in the command room are also watching you, all waiting to see what choice you'll make. The atmosphere is really tense, because these squad members aren't faking the fight. They're actually trying to hurt you for real. If you don't hand over the card, they'll keep shooting at you with firearms. They even have a mortar with them. What do you think that slippery kid fat monkey will do? I don't think he'll chicken out. This kid will surprise us. No way, this is no joke. Once he sees how strong the squad is, he'll definitely get scared. As soon as they finish talking, a mortar shell comes flying right at you. Your pupils shrink violently. Holy shit, they're actually doing this for real. You don't care about anything else right now. Running away is the top priority. You scramble to hide back behind the giant tree as fast as you can. While you think of a counter plan, you stare at the three people on the small hill, grinding your teeth in anger. You sons of bitches, wait till I get my hands on you. But facing this non-stop bombardment, you really can't think of any good solution right now. You're stuck in a deadlock. You could definitely run away if you wanted to, but the clue for the second round is with these guys. Running away is the same as handing over your card. But if you don't hand it over, there's no way you can beat them right now. You're anxious, staring in the direction of the three men, a determined look on your face. You want me to quit the competition? No way. You take a deep breath. Quietly adjust the camera to face the right way. Then put the king-tier demon beast finger around your neck on the ground. This thing is getting in the way of my moves. Don't ask why you don't store it in your secret realm. This item is registered in the official list. If you store it away, you'll blow your cover, so you have to carry it with you. Feeling the random pattern of the gunshots, you quickly think up an attack route in your head. The hill is at least 10 meters high. There are a lot of trees around it. As long as you can get close, the area at the foot of the hill will be safe. In your opinion, fighting 3 people at once isn't a big deal. The gap between each tree is at least 8 meters apart. It's not that there were no trees growing in between. They were obviously cut down on purpose. You suddenly get what's going on. A smile creeps onto your face. You realize all of this is carefully planned. Either you charge forward through the hailstorm of bullets, or you surrender, but you're just too stubborn. You take a deep breath, run as fast as you possibly can. You burst forward with a whoosh, dash toward the giant tree on the diagonal. This feels so damn satisfying. Your heart is racing. Adrenaline is pumping through your veins. You can clearly feel multiple bullets whizzing right past your scalp. Thud. You leap over a tree. In the command room, Jongnan's palms are completely soaked. Watching you leap over that tree, he's flushed bright red with excitement. Nice one, keep it up. Forget about life and death. Fight if you've got a problem. As a chosen seedling, how can you lack the resolve to risk your life? Chen Jungxiu is also smiling faintly, but he doesn't say a word. He just watches your every move carefully, one tree after another. Every single leap is a huge mental challenge for you. One wrong move and you'll get shot. And if you do get hit, Getting eliminated is the best case scenario. You might even end up disabled. You're completely hyped up. Every leap feels like a new breakthrough. From the initial unease, the jittery nervousness, to this rush of excitement now. You're even looking forward to it a little. You can't help licking your lips. You think you might actually love this feeling? Finally, you leap over the last tree. You reach the foot of the high ground just as you planned. By now, the bullets have lost all their deterrent effect. You laugh out loud. You bastards, wait till I get up there. Old High and his two partners up top look totally helpless. They wipe sweat off their foreheads, rub their sore wrists, sigh and say, "It's no use. We can't stop him anymore." You, down at the foot of the high ground, don't stop for even a second. You immediately fling out your sharp claws, hook them onto the edge of the high ground, pull hard, and leap straight up in one go. No one expected the claws could be used like that. You're just about to get your revenge for earlier. Damn it, you sneaky pricks, was that necessary? Shooting at me like you wanted me dead. You're cussing non-stop as you get ready to charge. When you see the three guys sitting on ammo crates smoking, they look at you world-wearily and say, "Buddy, have a cigarette." With that, they all quickly squat down with their hands on their heads. Their movements are perfectly synchronized, like they practiced it beforehand. You're stunned and furious at the same time. You point at them and yell, "Get up, stand up right now, fight me." Who knew the three of them shake their heads like rattle drums? No way we're fighting you. Our highest cultivation level is only spirit realm. We can't compare to a genius like you. You're so mad you start laughing. How do you even have the nerve to say that out loud so confidently? You're so pissed you want to beat the crap out of these guys. But they have zero intention of fighting back. How are you even supposed to fight them? You're absolutely furious. The command room is having a total field day. Ha ha ha, I'm dying laughing. These veteran soldiers are pretty clever. They know exactly how to play a teen's mind. Someone else snickers and says, "Duh." These guys are total smartasses. Other than their low cultivation level, they're good at everything. What can you do? Not wanting to come out of this empty-handed, you point at Old Hay's crew and yell, "Stand up straight." Each of you slap yourselves twice and we'll call it even. Old High smirks cunningly. Knew that's what he'd want. Then obediently hands you the info for the second round. It's another map. Still has a start point and an end point, except there's an extra marked point in the middle. Seeing you look a little confused, Old Hay whispers, "This is a meeting point. You'll meet other contestants here. Only one of you can move on to the next stage. Old Hay just did you a small favor. Now you feel even worse about hitting them. Even if you hit them, it'd just let off steam anyway. The real people to blame are the assessment team and yourself, after all." You wave your hand irritably and leave without looking back. No choice, time is really tight. Finally, at 12 midnight, you spot the meeting point. A house with a special mark on it. You thought it was for resting. But you feel waves of combat energy coming from ahead. Someone is obviously fighting there. You think to yourself, that's not good. Did someone get here before you? You carefully creep over to take a look. Liu Baichuan is being besieged by 3 demon beasts. The strength of each demon beast is already almost at the peak, under the siege of these 3 powerful demon beasts. Liu Baichuan looks totally messed up. You burst out laughing the second you see this scene. You decide not to get involved right now. You quickly find a safe and hidden spot. You cheerfully take the jerky out of your pocket and start eating it with great relish. While enjoying the show, after all, you heard from Xiaohei about this round of mission. On the same track, only one person can keep moving forward. Seeing you enjoying the show on the side, and even taking out jerky to eat, Liu Baichuan can't hold it back anymore. He completely loses his cool. He yells directly at the demon beasts besieging him, "Fuck! Stop only hitting me, damn it!" There's another guy over there. You get pissed off when you hear that. Liu Baichuan, even though we had a little conflict before, you can't just shift the trouble onto me. Liu Baichuan is furious. "Fat monkey, don't get cocky. Once I'm done here, we're gonna fight one-on-one." You don't care, you wave your hand, take a loud bite of the jerky, it tastes so damn good, and say casually, "Liu Baichuan, you're such a bad guy. I want to see how much strength you've got left later." Oh right, I heard only one person can get out of this track alive. Liu Baichuan's heart sinks to his stomach when he hears that. Yeah, after all that energy consumption, how much strength does he even have left? Even if he has some left, facing you who's totally unhurt, he doesn't stand a single chance at all. For a moment, his messy thoughts make Liu Baichuan zone out briefly. The demon beasts besieging him seize the opportunity and slam a paw hard into his shoulder. When you see this happen, you can't help yelling a warning. Watch your right. But who knew Liu Baichuan is such a stubborn ass? The second he hears you say right, he deliberately doesn't listen and insists on showing off, so he ends up taking another solid hit. Watching this from the side, you can't help covering your eyes. In the command room, Jiangnan asks Chenzu curiously, "Isn't this a little unfair to Liu Baichuan, even though Jiangnan is on your side?" Even he thinks this is kind of bullying. Chen Zhengxiu doesn't answer. Someone else speaks instead. He chuckles wickedly. "Unfair? This is just the beginning. This is only the appetizer." Jiangnan's jaw drops in shock, staring at the screen and murmuring, "This is just the appetizer." At the same time, on the other side, just as Liu Baichuan is about to kill one demon beast, a wild beast's howl suddenly bursts out behind him. A giant black-winged eagle appears in the sky. It just flutters its wings a little, and a raging gale sweeps through the mountains. The appearance of this Rongjing-level black-winged eagle not only disrupts Liu Baichuan's rhythm, but also makes you, who was watching the show, look totally shocked, because this Rongjing-level demon beast is completely beyond the scope of the assessment. Liu Baichuan can't handle this pressure anymore now. He's blown left and right by the gale, and small cuts appear on his body in an instant, bleeding non-stop. At this moment, the stubborn Liu Baichuan stops being tough and holding on, and yells for help at you, "Fat monkey. Stop fucking around watching the show. Someone's gonna fucking die here." You know, you can't just watch anymore either. Something must be wrong with the assessment. Otherwise, with how the assessment team usually is, all tasks are within what your batch can handle. This time, the challenge is way too hard. Something must have gone wrong. Jokes aside, you won't let him down when it counts, even though you had a little argument before. Everyone knows, you two will probably be teammates in the future, so you never really fell out with each other. Now that Liu Baichuan is in danger, you have to step in and save him. Thinking of this, you flash in front of Liu Baichuan, holding up the king-level demon beast finger in your hand, and yell at Liu Baichuan, Xiao Chuanzi, "Get over here quick!" You're trying to use the king-level finger to block the incoming attacks for a bit. Liu Baichuan looks at you in disbelief. "What did you just call me?" "Chuanzi, go fuck yourself." In all my life, no one has ever dared to call me that. You see Liu Baichuan not moving, and yell curses, "Hurry the fuck up! You're gonna bleed out any second, dumbass." Only then did Liu Baichuan feel the pain in his body. Those tiny cuts were bleeding non-stop. He turned into a bloodied man in the blink of an eye, looking extremely terrifying. So he sped up immediately, and rushed quickly behind you, holding up that finger together with you. The moment they touched it, Liu Baichuan realized how extraordinary this finger was. He blurted out in shock, "This is the profound secret." You had no time to bullshit with him at all. You couldn't help yelling at Liu Baichuan, "Stop fucking chattering. How did I not know you're such a blabbermouth before? The top priority right now is to find a way to kill this black-winged hawk." Liu Baichuan also knew the situation. It was extremely urgent. If anything went wrong, both of you would die here. Find a way here. I don't have a fucking clue. That's a wrong realm beast after all. Once you enter the wrong realm, the power gap is like heaven and earth. Right when you two were talking, the black-winged hawk above had already charged at you. You couldn't dodge in time, and got bitten hard by the hawk's beak. If Wang Ji's finger hadn't blocked that hit, you two would have turned into two bloody gourds instantly. Liu Baichuan was terrified, yelling madly for the examination team. "Examination team, examination team. This is way beyond the test scope. Come help, we're dying!" But no one in the examination team command room responded to him. Instead, they looked confused. "Team Chen, do you think they can figure it out?" Chen Zhengxiu replied calmly. "Choose a future or choose your life. It's up to their own choice. As the kindling, you must make the right choice at the right time. If you can't even do that, what qualification do you have to be called kindling?" The reason Chen Zhengxiu wasn't worried about you two dying was because he knew when every contestant joined the competition, they were given a wrong realm demon core. As long as one of you eats this demon core, you can break through to the wrong realm and defeat the demon beast. The question is who eats it and who doesn't. There's a lot to consider here, and it also affects everyone's score. The third round isn't a simple test like the first round at all. It already involves human nature. You two soon gave the examination team the perfect answer. Liu Baichuan stepped forward first at this moment. With a firm look on his face, he yelled at the top of his lungs, "Fat monkey, you hold this son of a bitch off. I'll eat the demon core. Damn it. Once I break through to wrong realm, I'll kill it." You reacted immediately too. You were just thinking about how to hide in the Qianfo mountain secret realm. Liu Baichuan's words reminded you, "Yeah, no one said you can't break through, right? Even the wrong realm demon core the examination team prepared earlier was for you to break through when you're in danger. It's just that your potential might get stuck here after using it, because no one knows what the demon core issued by the examination team. actually is, what if the demon core doesn't match your attribute, or doesn't fit your cultivation system? You'll have big problems later on, but none of that seems to matter to you. You don't rely on this anyway. You could get stronger as long as you had meat to eat after all. You also started to like Liu Baichuan, this kid, at the same time. To make such a move at a time like this guy is at least a responsible person. The corner of your mouth lifted slightly, showing a teasing smile. That was also full of confidence. You said to Liu Baichuan, save your breath. You go lure it away. Let me handle eating the demon core. As you said that, you directly took the wrong realm demon core issued by the examination team and tossed it into your mouth. Liu Baichuan was dumbfounded seeing this scene. He never expected you would do this. He was totally shocked. Holy shit, are you giving up your future? The reason Liu Baichuan dared to swallow the demon core was because he had his family's support. Even if he really swallowed it, worst case he can find a king-level demon core later and recultivate his skills. The Liu family is super rich and powerful anyway. The only impact is wasting a year or two of time. But what do you have to rely on? A warm current rose in Liu Baichuan's heart at this moment. Looking at you swallowing the demon core and breaking through, he knew there was no point saying anything now, so he had to use his best skill. He taunted the black-winged hawk. Hey, grandson. Grandpa is right here. While he was talking, Liu Baichuan picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at the black-winged hawk. Though it didn't cause much damage, it was super insulting. Sure enough, the black-winged hawk got furious and attacked Liu Baichuan madly. Liu Baichuan ran away in a very embarrassed state. He even felt a little dizzy. He knew that was a sign of losing too much blood. But even so, he was still running for his life, while yelling at you loudly, "Brother Monkey, are you done yet? I can barely hold off the black-winged hawk's attacks. If this keeps up, I'm really gonna die here." Just then, your cross-legged body finally moved. Golden light burst from your eyes. A max-level sharp claw shot straight out, leaving a beautiful trail of blood in the air. The moment it hit the black-winged hawk's body, it grabbed down hard with brutal force. The black-winged hawk's miserable shriek immediately echoed through the forest. It was obviously in severe pain, and its attention shifted from Liu Baichuan over to you. You felt a little unbelievable at this moment. You just tested it out a second ago, and the power of the sharp claw already shocked you to the core. The wrong realm is really that terrifying. That strike just now. You only used 70% of your strength, but looking at the state the black-winged hawk is in, it looks like it took a heavy blow. You even had a feeling that the sharp claw you just shot out was a solid object. A real physical sharp claw. This feeling is so amazing. No wonder everyone says the wrong realm is transcendent. You mumbled to yourself, so this is what transcendence feels like. Right then, the black-winged hawk's skill was coming right at you. A hurricane tornado. If this had happened earlier, you could only run away in embarrassment. But now you have total confidence that you can split it right open. You pulled out a long blade with your left hand and channeled your chi into the weapon. You swung it slightly, and blood-red energy filled the sky. The hurricane tornado let out a loud bang at this moment. It looked like the whole tornado-shaped mass was forcibly split in half by the blood-red energy. Liu Baichuan behind you was also stunned. He held onto his constantly bleeding wound and mumbled, "How can Brother Monkey's wrong realm power be this strong?" Wait, no. Those who just entered wrong realm still use Yuanji's inner core. How can he have this much power? It wasn't just him. Even the people in the command room found it unbelievable. They blurted out, "Barrier break." The so-called barrier break is exactly the move you just used. You can use your own chi to break through the enemy's chi. This high-level ability is an ability you might get after entering the wrong realm, but not everyone can comprehend it, and there's no systematic way to learn it either. To get this ability, you can only rely on all sorts of coincidences. It might be your comprehension, or it might be your natural talent. In short, there's no pattern to follow. This kind of ability, even for Zhuangji-level cultivators, is something you can wish for but never get. But you, a kid who just entered the wrong realm, mastered barrier break on your second move. It completely shattered their entire worldview. They all felt like all the years they spent cultivating might as well have been wasted on a dog. Even Chen Jungxiu was full of shock and joy. The surprise you brought him was way too big. You actually comprehended barrier break. Doesn't that mean that you, who just broke through, have already surpassed 90% of cultivators? Your future is absolutely boundless. Also, your chi is very strange too. It's blood red. Looking at your state, the total amount of chi you have is also shocking. No one would ever guess that you broke through using a Xuanji-level demon beast inner core. This is no worse than a king rank cultivator. If you had eaten a king rank demon beast inner core, what would you be capable of? He didn't even dare to imagine it right now. Just then, someone showed a regretful expression. What a shame. This kid is still going to take the wrong path. What he was referring to was, of course, the level of the inner core you ate. That's the issue. Only Chen Zhengxiu was smiling. Jiang Nan was confused. Shenzhou, what are you laughing at? This is our own promising talent. Even if he recultivates later, it's still a waste of time, right? Chen Zhengxiu chuckled and said nothing. He casually tossed out a document bag. Jiang Nan and the others in the command room couldn't wait to open it and check. There were a few words written on it. Snow-melting pill. Someone immediately sucked in a cold breath. Chen Zhengxiu smiled faintly then and explained, this is something we just developed not long ago. It can let people directly dissolve the original demon beast inner core and take a new inner core without any side effects. This thing just came out recently. They're basically the first batch of people who get to use it. Otherwise, the assessment team wouldn't have set this kind of task. But that's not the most impressive part. The best part is that the inner core, dissolved by the snow-melting pill, won't lose its potential. It'll stack onto the new one instead. As soon as he said that, everyone was shocked. Quite a few of them even felt secretly regretful. If they had broken through a little later, would they have gotten in on this too? Someone asked. Ancestor Chen, do we still have a chance? Chen Zhengxiu laughed and cursed. Chance my ass. This thing only works for those of you who just entered the wrong realm. No way then. Lots of people thumped their chests and stamped their feet. We missed it. They all wished they were born a few years later, but most people still understood. After all, every generation gets a new system. New good stuff comes along all the time. And that's exactly why humans keep getting stronger and stronger. Ancestor Chen, it's still a shame though. If you took 2 king-level demon beast inner cores, wouldn't you be even more powerful? Even though 2 king-level inner cores are hard to get, it works in theory, right? Chen Zhengxiu shook his head slightly. That won't work. The ones you take later have to be stronger than the earlier ones. If your first one is king level, the later ones have to be higher than king level. Oh my god, the group couldn't even imagine it. King level is already the top tier of 13 layers. Even the outstanding kids from big families have to go through tons of hardships to get a higher level one. They didn't even dare to think about it. Everyone looked at you. They knew your batch got lucky with the timing. We're so jealous of you. After you split the tornado, Liu Baichuan was also shocked. He couldn't even say a word. That's the flaw. Right now, you have no idea how awesome you are. It's like you got a new toy, taunting the black-winged eagle. Come on, hit me again. Yeah, that mysterious feeling just now got you kind of addicted. That feeling is basically a top student crushing a bad student. How could the black-winged eagle stand this provocation? Demon beasts that have reached the wrong realm already have a certain level of intelligence. It immediately used its signature move, but you still handled it easily, even messing around as you fought, watching how awesome you are. Liu Baichuan almost wanted to break through right now, but when he thought about his future path, he held himself back. He also felt more and more grateful in his heart, but the pride of a teenager wouldn't let him apologize. But you could clearly feel the invisible wall between the two of you was gone. In the command room, Chen Zhengxiu decided to crank up the difficulty. Send 3 more wrong realm beasts in. Everyone burst into an uproar. People stared at your team in disbelief. Don't get the kid killed. It's so hard to get a promising talent like him. Yeah, they watched you grow all the way here. Other than being a little mischievous, he's perfect in every other aspect. What's even rarer is that he dares to make decisions at critical moments, willing to sacrifice himself to save his teammates. That quality is so hard to come by. Only someone like him can be the torch of humanity. Chen Zhengxiu spoke again. Keep going. I don't want to say it a second time. 3 more wrong realm demon beasts were released. You were just practicing your moves. When you suddenly felt something wrong, you figured out the problem instantly. More enemies are coming. You smiled slightly to yourself. I was just looking for someone to practice moves with. So you dashed forward to attack on your own initiative. You started messing around with 4 demon beasts. Your footwork was very methodical, and you were super fast. You could even float in the air. At this moment, everyone also realized what ability the inner core you ate gave you. Speed. The speed test showed more than that, though. There was also a skill, Fufeng Step, looking at how easily you handled it. Fighting 4 demon beasts of the same level alone, not falling behind at all. Everyone was completely shocked. Is this what someone who just entered Wrong Realm looks like? By this point in the assessment, it had already lost its meaning, because your current strength has already surpassed the other contestants by a whole level. The assessment ended right after you killed the 4 Wrong Realm demon beasts. You won, Liu Baichuan lost. Your match ended before it even really started, after you finished killing the demon beasts. Liu Baichuan walked over holding his arm. He said a little proudly, "Thanks." You grinned when he called you monkey brother. Am I supposed to say you're welcome? Both of you burst out laughing immediately. Liu Baichuan's laugh looked a little grimacing, though. All right, monkey brother, you're awesome. But I want to know how big the gap between us really is. God only knows how hard it was for someone like Liu Baichuan, who's been pampered since childhood, to say something like that. You laughed. You said with a little regret, we can't compare right now. I've already entered the wrong realm. I'm afraid you can't even take one move from me right now. That's no empty brag. The wrong realm is worlds apart from the Lin realm. Plus, you can levitate now. Liu Baichuan can't even get close to you. But no one expected that. After hearing what you said, Liu Baichuan's fighting spirit only grew stronger. Right after that, he made a decision that almost made your jaw drop. Even the people in the command room were dumbfounded, thinking this kid must have lost his mind. Look at Liu Baichuan. He actually quickly pulled out the inner core given by the assessment team and swallowed it straight down, then immediately sat cross-legged. The last thing he said to you before closing his eyes was, "Brother Monkey, I'm not competing with you for the spot, but I want to fight you once, or I'm scared I won't get the chance later." After hearing that, you immediately thought Liu Baichuan must have gotten kicked in the head by a donkey. You pointed right at his nose and cursed. Are you fucking stupid? Everything's settled already. Why the hell did you eat that demon core? The people in the command room also thought Liu Baichuan was crazy. Chen Zhengshu, though, looked thoughtful. Looks like Liu Baichuan's score has to be adjusted. Liu Baichuan didn't know we already had the Snow Dragon core. And he still did this. At least he's got guts, though he was a bit impulsive too. No one else gets it. But Liu Baichuan knows exactly what he's doing. He's actually scared. Not scared of losing to you, but scared he'll never get to compete with you again. As a top talent from the 13th city, he has his own pride. But right after you easily used that flaw move earlier, his Taoist heart completely shattered. A ridiculous thought even popped up in his head. If I don't fight him now, I might really never get the chance later. For the first time as a genius, he felt panic. This panic pushed him to make this crazy move. After a long while, Liu Baichuan's aura suddenly changed. The power of the core fully merged into his body, feeling the extraordinary aura around him. He finally understood the gap between the Lin realm and Wrong realm. He didn't have time to marvel at it. Liu Baichuan pulled out his long blade and stood up, staring at you with bright eyes. Come on, show me what you've got. Fight me with everything you have. Don't hold back at all. Seeing how serious Liu Baichuan was, you unconsciously stood up straight. After all, Liu Baichuan was being this serious and had gotten fully ready for battle. If you kept acting all careless, that would be really disrespectful. When you focused carefully and felt the aura coming from Liu Baichuan, you were still disappointed in the end, because even though Liu Baichuan had successfully broken through to the Wrong realm, his current power was still way too weak for you. You unconsciously shook your head and said in the softest tone you could manage, "Are you sure you want me to go all out?" Liu Baichuan had a serious look on his face. His already stern face was now full of resolve. "Yes, I want you to treat me as a real opponent." The command room was dead silent right now. Everyone was holding their breath and watching this crazy fight that was about to start. But the second Liu Baichuan made his move, sighs echoed through the command room. The gap is way too big. Liu Baichuan is definitely going to lose. Liu Baichuan was already going all out. His metal attribute key was a deadly weapon. He even used his signature move. But the exact moment he unleashed his strongest attack, you moved too. You didn't even touch your blade. You only flicked your finger lightly. All of Liu Baichuan's ki was wrapped in blood-red energy, then vanished completely without a trace. Liu Baichuan was stunned. He froze completely. How come it's already over? Before it even started. Someone in the command room sighed that the gap was too big. That barrier breakability is totally broken. Chi of the same level. Can't do any real damage to Fat Monkey at all. There's no use, no matter how hard Liu Baichuan tries. He can only take hits. Hope this kid doesn't get too discouraged. That's it then. Chen Zhengshu sighed softly. All right, the third round is over. Go bring them back. Tell the counseling team to get ready to comfort them. Jiang Nan must have had a brain fart or something and asked dumbly, does Fat Monkey need counseling too? Chen Zhengzhu looked at him like he was an idiot. Soon after, you and Liu Baichuan walked out with the assessment team staff. Even when sitting on Jiang Nan's black-winged hawk, Liu Baichuan kept his head down the whole time, gripping the knife in his hand tightly, without saying a single word. You had no idea how to comfort him either. Nothing you said would feel right at this moment. You just had to let him figure it out on his own. Your assessment was over, but everyone else's wasn't. By the time everything wrapped up, it was already the next day. The official Flame Squad roster was released. There were 8 spots total. Xiaoqi, Xu Tianjiao, Li Zimu all made the cut. Even the 3 little brothers who wanted to follow you got in too. But for some reason, the 8th person on the list hadn't been announced yet. But no matter what, it was all over now. What's waiting for you next is December, when you'll go abroad to compete against other alliances. You don't have any missions for now, but all the people who passed, except for you, were super upset. The 7 of you sat and lay on the military camp's parade ground. 6 of them were staring hard at their King Tier Inner Core reward. Only you were chewing on some random weed in your mouth. Turns out they were just like you. They only passed the assessment by taking a Mystic Tier Inner Core, figuring you'd all be teammates from now on. You cleared your throat and comforted everyone. It's just a Mystic Tier Inner Core, right? Don't be so upset, guys. Things will work out eventually. Worst case, we just spend more time on it. It's no big deal anyway. Yeah, Fat Monkey's right. Mystic Tier is already pretty good. Li Zimu snorted with his head down. You guys know shit. Mystic Tier is nothing compared to King Tier, holding the King Tier Inner Core in his hand. Li Zimu was absolutely devastated. What's the most desperate thing in the world? Exactly what's happening right now. You fought like hell to get a King Tier Inner Core, and it's right in your hand, but you can't even use it. He wanted to scream, "What the hell do I even need this core for?" The others didn't say anything either, but their faces looked way worse than if they'd eaten shit. It was easy to tell. They felt exactly the same as Li Zimu. Just when everyone was feeling down, Chen Zhengxiu came to the parade ground with the assessment team. She looked at the 7 of you and yelled, "Flame Squad, come over and assemble." You were the first one to respond when you heard the yell, jogging over and grinning. When you called her aunt, everyone around saw that and couldn't help rolling their eyes in disgust. You bootlicker, you're nothing like the others. Other people would be terrified of anyone finding out. They're connected to the assessment team. Scared people will say they cheated their way in. But you don't even try to hide it. You'd practically pin Chen Zhengxiu's photo to your belt and yell to everyone the assessment team leader is your aunt and that you're super awesome. Right now, Chen Zhengxiu felt both relieved and annoyed. The good part was, you were getting closer and closer to the goal she had for you, and you'd totally secured the position as leader of this year's Flame Squad. The annoying part was your overly friendly personality. Chen Zhengxiu waved you off annoyed and told you to stand aside first. The rest of the group saw the assessment team coming and immediately moved. To get in line, no matter what, they were now part of the Flame Squad, though they'd probably be the weakest one. In the history of the Flame Squad, all previous Flame Squads had used King Tier Inner Cores to break through to Dragon Realm. Only this bunch used Mystic Tier ones. Chen Zhengxiu looked at all of their faces and knew exactly what they were thinking. This is actually a kind of test. Letting a bunch of top talents experience the fall from the top to rock bottom is actually a pretty good lesson. I know all of you are pretty upset right now, but just hold on a second. As soon as she said that, even you looked at Chen Zhengxiu confused. Aunt, you don't have to rub salt in the wound like that. What do you mean, hold on? Even you, who didn't care about inner core quality, thought that stung a little. Sure enough, everyone else's face visibly darkened. Chen Zhengxiu smiled and clapped her hands twice. A man stepped out from behind her, in black uniform holding a silver metal case. When it was opened, 8 small vials were inside. These are the newly developed blood-dissolving pills. They can dissolve the original demon beast inner core in your body, so you can take a new one with no side effects. As soon as Chen Zhengxiu said this, all 7 of you were shocked. Is that even a thing? That can't be real, right? Everyone's eyes were wide open, staring at the vials. It's like looking at hot guys and girls who can't afford clothes. That really caught everyone off guard. You're the only one with a weird focus. Auntie, there are 8 of them. Has the remaining fire seed been selected yet? Chen Zhengxiu nodded with satisfaction. When faced with the chance to change your fate, you can still stay so unconcerned, which I really appreciate. Yep, after the final evaluation, Liu Baichuan got the 8th spot by a narrow margin of points. Liu Baichuan, come on out. Everyone turned their heads to look aside. Liu Baichuan walked out of the crowd awkwardly. His face was a little flushed. He obviously took a hit this time. Not only is he no match for you, even his longtime rival Li Zimu KO'd him. Li Zimu said sinisterly, "Mr. Chen, did the Liu family pay to rig this?" Before Chen Zhengxiu could even say a word, Liu Baichuan got furious right away. "Li Zimu, are you insane? You want to fight, huh? As if I'd be scared of you, you loser." Li Zimu's smart mouth was running a mile a minute, spitting out all kinds of insults nonstop. Chen Zhengxiu's face also darkened. Classmate Lidzimu, watch your attitude. Are you doubting the fairness of the assessment team? Oops, I'm asking for a beating. Let's talk about this snow beauty pill or whatever. How do you use this thing? You coughed. Chen Jiangxiu shot you a glare. Why are you everywhere? All right, cut the crap. The snow beauty pill is your reward. And also your good fortune. You're the first batch of fire seeds to get the snow beauty pill. I hope you all practice hard after you leave. Each of you holds one snow beauty pill and one king-level monster core. Their hearts were racing with excitement. Would they be the strongest group of people? Since the fire seeds first appeared, everyone was filled with longing. Even you were no exception. Although you don't rely on these things, no one ever complains about having too many good things. But before everyone left, Chen Jiangxiu met with you alone. Pang Ho, do you want to live an ordinary life or a spectacular one? Chen Jiangxiu looked at your young, inexperienced face and asked seriously. You scratched your head, a confused look on your face. You felt like there was a trap in this question, but you still spoke from your heart. My wish is world peace, and no more monsters ever. Chen Jiangxiu shouted good. Pang Ho, you know, it's really hard to make that wish come true. Monsters are one part of the problem. Humans are the other. The 13 cities selection will start in a year. Do you want to represent the whole South City in this selection? It was like a boom went off in your head. You went completely numb after hearing that. You pointed at yourself in disbelief. Auntie, are you kidding me? I just awakened my powers. You thought Auntie must have lost her mind. What the hell? Letting a total newbie like me, who just awakened, go to the selection. The selection is a signature event of the 13 cities. Unlike fire seeds who have to fight outsiders, the selection is more like a peaceful election, to pick people who can represent the city, and all the forces in the city, to attend the meetings. At first you might just sit in on meetings, but you'll slowly gain power over time. If you're lucky enough, it's not impossible to become the top person of the 13 cities. But that's obviously only for big shots, right? You had no idea if you were qualified. Why would Chen Jiangxiu be so unrealistic? It was so unbelievable. Chen Jiangxiu knew you'd react like this. She smiled and said, "Don't doubt it. It's you. I didn't have this idea before. But ever since I saw your performance, I knew you might have this chance. Pang Ho, South City has been oppressed for too long. We're dying for a genius to show up, to let everyone know that South City is part of the 13 cities. Would you like to be that genius? To the 13 cities, to all humankind, make South City's voice heard. Do you dare?" These words really hit the spot for a teenager, but you still found it unbelievable. You asked with difficulty, Auntie. Where do you see this potential in me? You knew that South City had been oppressed for years. That much you were aware of. But this oppression wasn't deliberate suppression. It was just that South City had never had a real leader step up. It was only normal that it got gradually marginalized. Although South City is still counted among the 13 cities now, its strength and influence are really far too lacking. Chen Jiangxiu didn't answer this question, but asked another one instead. Do you know Nancheng wasn't always called Nancheng? It used to have a much nicer name. Of course you know that. Nancheng is just what you folks call it. What everyone else calls it, too. Its actual official registered name is Li Huocheng. Chen Jiangxiu was pretty satisfied with your answer, and sighed. Yeah, it's really Li Huocheng. It stands for the unyielding spirit of flame, the phoenix reborn from blood and fire, and eternal existence as well. That's what Nancheng truly is. But now the name Li Huocheng has slowly faded from people's memory. Will it even drop out of the 13 cities ranking later? Think it over carefully, fat monkey. No rush for the answer. Wait till you get your results from the Tinder contest. You can tell me then. It's no problem. Chen Jiangxiu left, leaving you standing there totally confused. Gotta say, today's events hit you way too hard. It's like back in the harmonious society era. Someone walks up to you out of nowhere and asks if you want to be a congressman, and maybe run for president later for fun. Oh, whatever. That's way too far off. Let's just get your own stuff sorted first. You just became a Tinder and you're already daydreaming like this.
That's a little too much.
After you snuck back home low-key, you opened up the Qianfo Mountain secret realm. 'Cause the most urgent thing you need to solve right now is another problem. And that's the king tier flesh and blood you hid here secretly. After confirming the king tier flesh was still fresh, and there was nothing odd about it, you quietly opened the demon eating manual. All of a sudden, the demon eating manual lit up brightly. Your heart skipped a beat when you saw that. This had never happened before, right? Great Demon King tier rift ground tiger. The meat is soft and glutinous. Lots of meat, very few bones. Every part of its body is usable. Tiger heart and liver can be marinated. Required material. Tiger penis can be used for foot soaks. Required ingredients, perfect seasoning. can greatly boost strength and physical fitness. Low-level recipes may damage its effects. Comment passable. You stared at the changes on the demon-eating manual in shock. Damn, you never would have guessed that the demon-eating manual would have so many words written on it. You know, all its previous comments on other demons were super dismissive, like it was trying to use as few words as possible. Stuff like just a little demon. Clearly discriminatory remarks. But it's actually taking this king-tier rift ground tiger seriously. Plus, there are way more cooking methods and ingredients listed. The treatment is totally different. But looking at the ingredients listed, your head started hurting. Xuanji tianyu grass to remove fishy smell, a little rongji dryland onion. Each ingredient blew your mind, but you ended up realizing you can't afford any of them. None of these things are cheap. You could only shake your head helplessly in the end. Whatever. Let's use a low-level recipe to stew a pot first and taste it, even if it might damage some of the effects. We gotta try first anyway, to see if we can get the rift ground tiger's skill first. Fill the pot with water and turn on the heat. You cut a big chunk of meat, then you realized there was still a ton of meat left you couldn't deal with. The meat wasn't bad yet, but who knows when it will go bad. You were kind of frustrated. But the next second, the demon-eating manual actually gave you a suggestion. Give half the rift ground tiger meat to the demon-eating manual, and it will provide 10 cubic meters of cold storage space. Your eyes almost popped out when you saw that. That's even a thing. That's literally the best trick ever. With this much meat, losing half is way better than all of it going bad, right? This isn't a hard choice to make. So you didn't even hesitate to trade half the tiger meat for 10 cubic meters of cold storage space. After you put the rest of the meat in cold storage, you then shifted your focus to the meat stewing in the pot. Even though you only used the Irontail Eagle stew recipe to cook this meat, the smell still made your mouth water uncontrollably. You quickly picked up a piece with chopsticks, took a small bite, and your eyes immediately lit up. That's so freaking delicious. But right after, a thought popped up in your head. A golden halo kept breaking apart and rearranging in your mind. Breaking apart again at the end. Rearranging again until you understood it perfectly. And then it finally disappeared when you opened your eyes. You got it right away. This was one of the Rift Ground Tiger's skills. But you had never seen this king tier demon use this skill before. Whatever, let's test it out first. Follow the idea in your head. Arrange and combine your own chi. Then the halo suddenly pops up. The moment the halo appears, you feel something different about yourself. Like your skin got tighter. You can channel ki way faster too. You really have no clue what this halo does. You barely have contact with king-level demon beasts. They don't teach this stuff at school either. This is so frustrating. You can only figure it out on your own. Only later do you realize your defense has risen. If it was 1 before, it's at least 3 now. This crazy effect is totally mind-blowing. 3 times the defense. Are you kidding me? Pair that with your expansion ability. You're unbeatable among your year group, right? And you notice your chi channeling speed has increased by at least 100%. Chi channeling speed is basically the key to winning a fight. Let me put it this way. The bigger RAM a phone has, the smoother its system runs. Chi channeling speed works the exact same way. That means this skill can temporarily raise your upper limit. This is literally a god-tier skill. You think to yourself giddily. You stop messing around right away and start chowing down on the tiger meat like crazy. 1 piece already makes you this OP. What if you eat more? You just didn't notice one thing though. That is, your halo is a bit different from the Flaming Emperor Tiger's. Your halo is blood red, while the Flaming Emperor Tiger's is golden. Right the second the halo appeared. In the underground cave of the Sutra Depository not far away, a tiny crack appeared on the flawless crystal coffin. The woman in red inside moved her lips slightly, full and satisfied. You didn't get any new skills though, but you don't feel upset at all. Just getting this halo skill today alone is already a huge harvest for you. Besides, you still have half the tiger meat in your storage, plus tons of hearts and livers. Getting new skills is only a matter of time. After finishing the meat, you even feel your strength improved a lot. Your cultivation that just entered the integration realm has stabilized. You could say it's rock solid. And this is even with the wrong cooking method. If you use the right method, you can't even imagine how terrifying the boost would be. So to find auxiliary ingredients for cooking tiger meat. Early the next morning, you went alone to Rift Space number 883, where cloud mist grass grows abundantly. Cloud mist grass is one ingredient for stewing tiger meat. It's also a relatively low-level solvent material among the ingredients. It's the most accessible material you can get right now. Other materials are at least Xuan rank. There's no way you can get your hands on those. But when you arrive at the registration office outside the rift, you're totally dumbfounded. Sorry, The quota for people entering the rift these days is full. A man in combat uniform reaches out to block your way. You can't believe it. Is this place that popular? You need a reservation to enter the rift. The staff has very good manners and says with a smile, well, here's the thing. This rift has been developed for quite a long time. It's basically a zero-risk rift. So it's normal that it's super popular. You nod with difficulty and ask anxiously, is there any way you can make an exception for me? I'm really in a hurry right now. Guys, who gets this feeling? That frustration when you're right at the door but can't get in. It's not because you're not tough enough. It's just that they're fully booked. The staff refuses with a smile. Sorry. The earliest available slot is 7 days from now. When you hear that, your brain just short-circuits. Who would have thought this would happen? You sit limply at the entrance of the hall. You're even considering taking out your flame seed card to try. Right at this moment, a surprised voice comes over. Fat monkey, you look up and see. It's actually Shu Tianjiao who got promoted to flame seed with you. Shu Tianjiao is a pretty girl with short hair. She gives off a super capable and heroic vibe. 2 men dressed like bodyguards follow behind her. Shu Tianjiao looks at you curiously. There's a questioning look in her pretty eyes. Haven't you gone home yet? Why did you come to Chongming City? You shrug helplessly and reply, well, I heard Rift 883 in Chongming City is a pretty safe integration realm rift. So I came over to wander around and broaden my horizons. You really are good at using what you just learned. What the service staff just said. You used it right away, didn't you? Shu Tianjiao made a sound of realization. Oh, I see. So why are you sitting here? Not going inside? You're so embarrassed you could dig a whole 3-bed apartment with your toes. I came too late. The earliest available slot is already a week away. Looks like this trip was for nothing. Shu Tianjiao looked confusedly at the man on her right. What's going on here? The man lowered his head and replied, Miss, regular rifts don't require entry quotas. Only kids from big families like ours get these quotas. This special treatment is given to honor our family ancestors, who risked their lives for the 13 cities. That's why we get this privilege. Regular people have to sign up first to get in. As he spoke, the man got curious. Who is this person that mistook the initiative to greet? I've never heard of him before. Fat monkey? Is there any important figure surnamed Pang in the 13 cities? Then he smiled faintly. Definitely not. Must be some lucky random kid. Why else wouldn't he be able to get in? Just an ordinary guy, that's all. Shu Tianjiao suddenly realized what was going on. He wasn't faking it. He was telling the truth. She really had no idea this rule existed. After all, ever since she was little, she never had to worry about things like this. After thinking for a short moment, Shu Tianjiao turned to the man on her right and said, you wait outside today. You can come with me next time. Fat monkey, you take this quota. Come inside with me. The man who was just looking down on you was totally dumbfounded in an instant. Going into the rift with Miss is such a good opportunity. How did it just disappear all of a sudden? Miss, wait, that's not right. I'm supposed to protect you. Shu Tianjiao is a very straightforward person, she said calmly. Having him around is way safer than you. All right, I don't want to say this twice. If he wasn't a longtime follower, she would have lost her temper already. You watched Shu Tianjiao solve this problem so casually and felt a little shocked. Once again, you felt a weird feeling towards power and privilege. Was it envy or something else? Turns out lots of things that are super hard for ordinary people, for some people, are just trivial things they can do with a snap of their fingers. But you soon smiled again. Think about how Chen Zhengxiu took care of you when you were in the assessment team. Wasn't that a kind of privilege too? You were pretty happy about it back then. You only realized then, you don't actually hate privilege. You're just upset that privilege isn't on your side. At this moment, you seem to understand the world a lot more clearly. Shu Tianjiao saw your expression and froze slightly. What's wrong? You waved your hand. Nothing. Thanks so much for today. I really wouldn't have gotten in otherwise. Shu Tianjiao smiled too. It's just a tiny little thing I can do easily. Getting closer to the future team leader is something she doesn't mind at all. All right, let's go in. So under the resentful gaze of the service staff, you walked inside. The look on his face basically said, dude, you have such strong connections. Why the hell were you wasting my time earlier? You have to walk a short closed path before entering the rift. Shu Tianjiao looked at you curiously. With your strength level, why would you need to train in a low-level rift like this? You should be going to a higher level one, right? She knows exactly how strong you are. Very well. That barrier break move of yours is unbeatable. Coming here is kind of pointless. You didn't hide it. I came here to get some cloud mist grass and check if there are any lone demon beasts around. I can get some essence blood to sell. Shu Tianjiao looked at you with her beautiful eyes. She didn't really get your plan, but figured it was for making money, right? Oh, so Fat Monkey's family isn't that well off. She thought someone who calls the assessment team leader aunt would come from a pretty good background. She never expected you'd need to make money on your own. Growing to this level in that kind of environment is really not easy at all. You kept feeling like Shu Tianjiao was looking at you weirdly. You had no proof, though. But luckily, you were about to enter the rift soon. You can just go your separate ways, then. After stepping into the rift, you felt like your breathing got a lot easier. Shu Tianjiao knew you wanted to go off on your own. She didn't feel reluctant at all. It was just a random good deed she did. See you later, then. You nodded. Thanks again. If you need anything I can help with later, just say the word. You, the Nancheng Good Samaritan, are making random promises again. Shu Tianjiao smiled and hummed in response. I might actually need your help someday. After saying goodbye to Shu Tianjiao, you follow the guidance on the map and head for your target location. It takes you roughly 20 minutes. To arrive at your destination, this is a valley. From a distance, it looks lush and green, full of vibrant life. But your nose already tells you this place isn't all that safe. Within 500 meters, there are at least 7 or 8 Fusion Realm demon beasts, so you immediately pull out your long blade. You can barely wait to get started. A regular Spirit Realm Vital Essence vial sells for tens of thousands of yuan. A Fusion Realm one is worth even more. You're really short on cash. You hurl a stone forward hard, and right away, a walking cash cow shows up. It's a full-grown spotted leopard. Your eyes light up. Come here, little leopard, come to me. The spotted leopard acts like it's been deeply insulted and gets pissed off immediately. The spots on its body actually fly right towards you. You jump in shock. Wait, it can do that? But you don't panic at all. It was just a small jump, nothing more. You shift your body slightly, swing your long blade forward, and unleash a barrier breaker strike. You didn't dare use your power claw. The power claw's current power can blow a regular Fusion Realm beast apart with one hit. You're here to collect vital essence. Blowing them up is the last thing you want. As soon as you use barrier breaker, the ability the spotted leopard just used vanishes completely. You snicker. Now it's my turn. You hold your blade high with no fear and swing straight for the spotted leopard's forehead. One move, just one single move. The spotted leopard is stunned. You're way too fast. Your attacks are even faster. The spotted leopard, known for its speed, can barely keep up. It instinctively lifts its right front paw to block. The right front paw is the hardest part of the spotted leopard's body, and it's something it's really proud of, as hard as fine steel. But the next second, something it never expected happens. The spotted leopard watches as its right front paw gets cut clean off. Its pride vanishes in a second. It doesn't even have time to scream in pain before its forehead is hit by your shiny long blade. And just like that, one wild, arrogant leopard is gone from the world. You almost want to howl at the sky and yell about how awesome you are. Same realm. We're the same cultivation realm. I took it down in 2 moves. It didn't even get a chance to fight back. Maybe your brutal takedown of the spotted leopard made the nearby demon beasts sense danger. They're all starting to back away. But how can you let this opportunity slip? These are all walking cash. Each bottle of vital essence is worth at least 100,000 yen. There's no way you're letting them go. So the tables turn completely. You turn into a total butcher. Slash after slash after slash. You take down over 10 demon beasts easily. You put your hands on your hips, with a grin on your face, and take out 10 small vials. You start collecting vital essence with super skilled movements. Having lived poor for so long, you hate wasting anything. Finally, the last drop of vital essence is collected. You close the vials happily, totally satisfied. Then you look at the corpses and snicker. Can't waste these either. I heard spotted leopard claws sell for good money too. And the feelers of these armored centipedes are worth a lot too. Not to mention the leftover meat. I can eat that myself. You mumble to yourself as you sort through them. Even a scavenger would say, "Damn, dude, you're a total savage. You don't waste a single thing, seriously?" You keep looking around. Suddenly your eyes light up. You see something familiar. A blade of grass that's half a meter tall, standing right in the middle of a bunch of weeds. It's super obvious. Cloud mist grass, you're over the moon. I actually found it already. But then, you just get ready to take out tools to dig it up. A sudden laugh booms right next to your ear. "Hey kid, you're pretty brave, huh? Daring to steal stuff from us brothers." You turn around and see a few buff strong guys walking towards you like they own the place. The one who spoke is a tough, rugged man, wearing a shiny black leather armor, with a white t-shirt underneath. He has a leather sheath on his waist, with a sharp dagger inside. The others are dressed similarly. Their team has a pretty complete setup. They've got protective gear and polearms. They also carry short daggers. This is standard gear for lots of monster hunters. These guys are the type that risk their necks every single day. Total tough guys just trying to make a buck. But faced with this kind of situation, you don't panic even a little bit, just from their getup and the tone they speak in. You already know what these monster hunters are up to. That vibe is super familiar to you. All the street thugs you met before acted just like this, so you don't bother being polite when you speak. You say, "This cloud mist grass is yours? Does it have your name written on it?" But the horse-faced guy says shamelessly, "Whatever I say, you just listen up. That's all you need to do. You're obviously a naive kid who's new to the real world. Us bros have a duty to teach you a little about how cruel this society can be. We're taking this cloud mist grass for sure. Be smart and get the hell out of our way. Otherwise, getting your ass beat isn't worth it." That line actually makes you breathe a sigh of relief. Looks like this group is pretty professional. They only rob people, they don't kill them. A small smirk tugs at the corner of your mouth. Well, thanks a lot for that then. As you say that, you suddenly lift your blade towards the direction of the group and slash hard, sending out a bloody beam of light. The group is totally stunned watching your move. They never expected you to attack so decisively. The horse-faced guy's face darkens and roars loudly, "Stand back. Let me handle this. What's this little punk even capable of anyway?" As he speaks, the horse-faced guy raises his spear, ready to block your attack, but your move is way too fast. Before the horse-faced guy even finishes talking, there's a loud booming sound, and the horse-faced guy just disappears entirely. This totally freaks out the horse-faced guy's underlings. Boss, holy shit, where did our big boss go?" Then on a tree not far away, the horse-faced guy is plastered against the trunk, coughing up blood from the corner of his mouth. "Don't move! No one move!" At that yell, the underlings finally spot where their boss is. But seeing their boss stuck on a tree from one single move, plus the human-shaped dent in the tree trunk, the underlings are completely shocked. "Boss, are you okay?" The horse-faced guy wishes he could slap himself right now. He originally thought you were just some snot-nosed, arrogant little student, but he never guessed you'd be such a total badass. Right away, the horse-faced guy ignores the blood in his mouth and chest pain and kneels immediately. "Buddy, I'm wrong." The horse-faced guy's quick surrender catches you off guard a little. You've been in so many fights. This is the first time you've seen someone cave this fast. You ask with a confused look on your face. Aren't you gonna put up at least a token fight? The horse-faced guy shakes his head hard like a rattle. "Fight my ass. We're not even on the same level as you. Way better to surrender early. When you're running on the streets, you gotta be super flexible." The horse-faced guy's whole motto is surrender fast. As soon as he senses something's off, he caves immediately. "Buddy, I'm wrong. I'm really, really wrong." You don't know whether to laugh or cry at this scene, but you didn't plan on killing anyone anyway. Mostly because the horse-faced guy didn't intend to kill you either. But even if you don't deserve death, you still gotta be punished, you know? It's not impossible to let you go. Hand over all the valuables you have on you first. And also pick that cloud mist grass for me. You know how to do it properly, right? The horse-faced guy feels like he's just been pardoned and says obsequiously, "You got it, buddy. We know the drill." With a clattering sound, they dump all their valuables on the ground. You sort through the stuff and finally realize this group actually has some pretty good stuff on them. So you take it all without holding back. There's even 3 to 5 stalks of cloud mist grass alone. Wow, that's perfect timing. You take the cloud mist grass picked by the horse-faced guy's underling. Wave your hand. Get lost. The horse-faced guy runs off with his underlings as fast as they can. You whistle, put away the cloud mist grass, along with the stuff you took from the horse-faced guy, to keep looking for more cloud mist grass. You wander around for half a day and end up with a ton of harvest. A huge batch of cloud mist grass is put into your 1,000 Buddha mountain secret realm. Looking at the cloud mist grass in front of you, an idea pops into your head. With so much cloud mist grass, maybe you can transplant some of it. Even though local soil can't grow medicinal herbs, your 1,000 Buddha mountain secret realm isn't local soil. Strictly speaking, it's also one of the rifts. Thinking of this, you get excited immediately. If this actually works, you'll never run out of cloudweed for stewing meat again. So you're in the 1,000 Buddha mountain secret realm. Grab a pen and paper, and start drafting a plan to boost your food supply, aka the basket plan. First off, you need to clear out a plot of arable land. This temple ruin originally had vegetable plots. Super convenient. You just need to tidy them up a bit. Second, learn all about cloudweed, especially the do's and don'ts for growing it. But you think this part is totally useless? Wild cloudweed doesn't need any fancy care, duh. Screw it, just plant them first. At the end of the day, you still go back to clearing land. The more fun you had burning things earlier, the more painful it is right now. The 1,000 Buddha Mountain Secret Realm has 3x time flow rate, so you don't worry about wasting time. You don't clear the entire area, just enough space to plant this batch of cloudweed. Then you call it quits on clearing. Grab a shovel and start planting. Cloudweed looks roughly like the half-person tall scallions back in the regular world, one after another. It finally takes 3 hours in Secret Realm time. To get the job done, only 1 hour has passed in the outside world. Looking at the lush green patch, you're totally filled with a sense of accomplishment. As long as they survive, you'll have unlimited cloudweed after this. Head out and keep searching. Who knows when you'll get another chance like this. Catch live demon beasts, hunt for cloudweed. You're totally wrapped up in this good mood. Until it's almost dusk. You hear a sharp scream. You immediately look up, activate your flight ability, and rise into midair. To survey the surrounding area, when you look far into the distance, you see something that makes you really pissed off. Shu Tianjiao and her bodyguard are fending off an attack from at least a dozen people. That blows your mind. Isn't Shu Tianjiao from a big wealthy clan? How dare anyone attack her? The leading man has a smirk on his face, watching Shu Tianjiao and her bodyguard struggle more and more under the siege, and sneers Miss Shu. Just give up resisting. If you stop fighting, I'll give you a quick end. Shu Tianjiao swings her long blade, creating an impenetrable defense, glares coldly at the man who spoke. You better wash your neck real good, since you know who I am. You should also know, the Shu family's wrath isn't something you can handle. She's not bluffing. If the young miss of the Zhu clan dies here, tons of people will be buried with her. Who knew the man would burst out laughing after hearing that? You think I'm gonna kill you? I wouldn't dare. It's just that I heard you're the most talented member of the Zhu family. Tell me, if a prodigy like you has a kid with me, how would that turn out? Shu Tianjiao looks horrified. She never expected these people to be this insane. That's worse than killing her. If the young miss of the Shu family has a kid with some random nobody, she can't even imagine how furious the Shu family will be. She'd also lose her status as the clan's prodigy. Stop resisting, miss. I'll treat you right. If you keep fighting back, my guys here won't be so nice to you. You only need to have my baby. Don't make it so you have to have all of theirs, too. The kid won't even know who his dad is when he's born. That'd be such a shame, right? The surrounding attackers all have evil grins on their faces. Ha ha ha, boss. I call second. Someone else yells to cut in. I'm second, asshole. Who the hell are you? Get in line at the back. Shu Tianjiao is seething with rage. Her face darkens completely. These random guys are trying to ruin her life and humiliate the entire Shu clan. She'd rather die than obey. Who would have thought that coming here to train would get her targeted? The Rongji Rift has a strict power level rule. It's very tightly controlled by the officials. Anyone above Rongjin rank is barred from entry. But if someone really wants to sneak in, there's always a way. The next second, Shu Tianjiao's long blade flashes, and she beheads the guy who just spoke. Right after, the king level and Xuanji inner cores that gave her increased processing power kicks in right now. Shu Tianjiao lets out a sharp battle cry. The secret Vajra wheel technique whooshed out. Shu Tianjiao's long blade spun rapidly in the air. It carried a unique type of ki that shot straight at the dozen people surrounding her. Those who got too close were instantly killed. The attackers were forced to retreat step by step. It only stopped after taking down 4 people, completely drained of power. The long blade then fell to the ground. Shu Tianjiao was gasping for air. Clearly that move took a huge toll on her. It used up every last bit of her strength. The leading man could barely hide his rage. Shu Tianjiao, you killed my brothers. Wow, good for you. A little girl who just reached the wrong realm. Managed to kill 5 of my half-step Xuan realm brothers. You should be proud. He sounded casual saying that, but he was clearly taking this seriously now. He stared at Shu Tianjiao with a dark, cold face. This is just a kid new to the wrong realm, and she took out 5 half-step Xuan realm fighters all by herself. That's totally unexpected. If we didn't have enough backup plans this time, we probably wouldn't be able to take her down at all. The bodyguard nearby saw Shu Tianjiao take down those men, and yelled, Our Lady is the best. Step back, miss. I'll gather my inner core energy and self-destruct soon, to hold them off for you. Hearing the bodyguard's words, Shu Tianjiao barely reacted, abandoning her companion and running away. Is something Shu Tianjiao would never do, so Shu Tianjiao said nothing. She just forced herself to stay standing, to keep from collapsing to the ground. She hated herself for coming out too early. If only she'd trained a little more first. Cough, cough! Shu Tianjiao started coughing up blood. Clearly that last attack hurt her really bad too. To end this fight fast, the leader opposite was getting ready to attack personally. His whole body radiated powerful aura. as a golden glow wrapped around his entire body. He gripped his long blade tight with both hands. His stance looked a little weird, though. Holding the blade with both hands, he raised it all the way above his head and crouched down slightly. Xu Tianzhao burst out laughing. Who did I think it was? Turns out it's little brats from the Sakura Alliance. Come on, I was totally out of strength just now. But seeing you pisses me off so much. My bloodline just awakened out of nowhere. I can fight another 300 rounds now. That's so damn amazing. Maybe it was the anger, or maybe it was something else. Xu Tianjiao was starting to talk pretty crudely. The leading man didn't attack earlier, precisely because he was afraid of exposing this identity. But he didn't care anymore now. He grinned viciously. Is that so? Then try the power of my Tenwar Ichitoryu style. Kill! The leading man stomped his foot hard on the ground and was about to charge forward. Xu Tianjiao had already gotten into a defensive stance, but she no longer had her long blade, so she could only fight with her bare hands. The bodyguard was channeling energy, desperately trying to rush over. But right at that moment, a lazy, calm voice rang out. Let me see which son of a bitch is bullying my people here. A tearing sound that broke the sound barrier exploded in the air, moving at maximum possible speed, then stopped steadily right in front of Xu Tianjiao. He even arrogantly dusted off the corner of his clothes and looked at the man with his face tilted at a 45-degree angle. That vibe was total Chunibyotin energy. Fat monkey? A shocked, happy look appeared in Xu Tianjiao's eyes. She was relieved she was going to be saved. But right after that, she seemed to remember something. She hurriedly yelled at you, hurry up and leave. You can't beat these guys. They're all half-step Xuan realm. I only killed a few with my family's secret technique. Go back and tell my dad. It was people from the Sakura Alliance who killed me. You listened to Xu Tianjiao's words and closed your eyes helplessly. Hey sis, can you let me finish my cool entrance first? This hanging in the middle feeling is so awkward. You sighed helplessly. Don't you want to tell your dad that yourself? Xu Tianjiao froze for a second. Tell dad alive? Is that even possible? The balance of power was super obvious. She knew exactly how strong you were, even though you could spot flaws in any attack. But up against these Japanese killers carefully laid trap, what good would that do? You looked at Xu Tianjiao without saying a word. The smile on your face faded completely. You suddenly asked Xu Tianjiao sharply, Who are you? Xu Tianjiao was slightly stunned. She was the young miss of the Xu family, right? But then she realized what you meant. She remembered those days of special training and blurted out, kindling. A determined look spread across Xu Tianjiao's face. She fully understood what you meant now. She remembered the line said when the kindling squad was formed. Kindling never goes out. This is something every generation of Spark members must remember well and put into practice as their oath. Yep, the spark never dies out. What was wrong with me just now? Right at this very moment, Xu Tianjiao's fighting spirit was ignited. He picked up a knife someone dropped on the ground. He pushed himself up and faced forward. Captain, the spark! Xu Tianjiao can still fight. Right now, Xu Tianjiao was staring forward with bright, sharp eyes. Even though he was already completely worn out, he refused to give in at this moment. He had officially accepted you as his captain. You looked at Xu Tianjiao approvingly. You were just about to say something, but those Japs cut you off again. That bastard Tanaka was glowering at all of you. How dare you act all tough in front of him? He snarled in a creepy, cold voice. Do you think I'm invisible or something? You didn't answer him. You just gave him a cold glance. How dare he interrupt your talk with the team? This Jap was practically asking to die. That arrogant look on your face pissed that bastard Tanaka off so bad. How dare a cornered loser like you look down on him? Tanaka the bastard charged right at you immediately. He wanted to teach you a damn lesson. Fights are won by real strength, not by stupid beliefs and total bullshitting. You watched Tanaka charging toward you. You activated your aura right away. The second the blood red aura appeared, it seemed like the whole world turned blood red. Your face also twisted in rage. You casually threw out your sharp claws. The claws were bright blood red. They grabbed Tanaka's longsword in one go. Who gave you the right to interrupt me? Crack! The longsword shattered into pieces, but the claws were still intact. The claws seemed to have a life of their own, controlled by blood-red threads. Every time you spoke a sentence, a burst of power was released. Who allowed you to bully my buddy? Boom! Another loud noise rang out. This time it wasn't the longsword that got grabbed. It was Tanaka's arm. Flesh and blood flew everywhere instantly. Tanaka didn't even have time to scream. Then your third sentence came right after. Who gave you the nerve to act so cocky on the turf of 13 cities? This time, Tanaka reacted. He let out a scream. Ah! It hurts! It hurts! My whole body hurts! Especially my arms. They're completely numb now. He couldn't believe what was happening. His eyes were filled with terror. How is this possible? How is this even possible? A teenager this young? How can he be this powerful? Xuan Realm, oh my god. He was about to go crazy. This was supposed to be a super easy mission. How did such a crazy accident happen? Xu Tianjiao was staring at you. A few words, the simplest and most basic claw skill. And it killed the guy he couldn't even fight against. Killed him so casually like it was nothing. His jaw dropped. That claw skill is the lowest level of all skills. What you just did was no less powerful than an enemy's ultimate move. And you just moved a little bit sideways and took out the enemy just like that. This was your first time going all out. You didn't expect you'd be this tough either. You looked down from above, watching the goons who stopped attacking your bodyguards. You said calmly, "Do you want me to crush you to death? Or surrender right now?" Right now you were floating in midair. The blood-red aura above and behind you was glowing brightly. A blood-red thread from your right hand was connected to the claws. Your eyes were filled with endless killing intent. You looked like a god of death straight from the deepest hell.